Welcome along to obviously Fight Talk episode 90. I'm Ben Forsyth, and as always, I'm joined by Will fucking Fleury.
Hold on. Let's cut this shit right from the get-go here. These are here to take part, not to take over. Welcome along to obviously Fight Talk episode 90, and as you heard, it's not your typical show each week. I am Noel O'Keefe, and I am joined, as always, by the beautiful Robert Palin.
How are you, man?
But as you heard the big fella say at the start there, we are also joined by Ben Forsyth and Will Fleury. We'll introduce you with the proper names in a minute. But as always, we are brought to you proudly in association with Fight Store Ireland, the fighter's choice. Everything you need under two roofs. Also MMAmix.com. They're obviously good.
Because they're with obviously Fight Talk.
See? The guests even do. And feelsupreme.co.uk. Go check them out. They looked after the Chinese. They won loads of medals. Loads of shit. Everything you need, CBD oils, all recovery stuff that these lads take, Rob takes, and even average Joes like me take. Well, you take similar to, maybe not Feel Supreme. We'll hook you up with sponsorship there. Go check them out. And if you want 10% off, just put in Fight Talk at the checkout, and you'll do that because we're awesome like that. So this week we are joined by Will fucking Fleury.
Boom.
And the Spider Monkey, or Ben, the Spider Monkey, Forsyth. Which are you, the before or in the middle? Do you have a preference?
No.
Ben Forsyth. So we'll be chatting with the lads. We'll be talking about their careers to the point where we're at now. Everything about the two lads, but we'll also... They're joining us. It's not just going to be an interview. We'll be going through the show as normal. We'll be looking at the big stories this week in MMA. We'll be talking UFC and MMA rankings, that type of stuff. The Bellator tournaments. These two gentlemen have been in a tournament. They may have fought one another. And then we'll be looking ahead later on to Kelvin Gastelum taking on Michael Bisping. But lads, thanks a million for coming in the studio to obviously Fight Talk.
No
Get
problem.
up to the mic there, Will you? Pretend
Not a bother.
No worries.
Bring a bit of culture.
So lads, this has been one that we've been looking to make for a long time now. Both well known in Irish MMA as well. I've always commented, I put it with both of you. Ben robbed it when he's recording a podcast yourselves where he said he has more pullouts than porn stars. So again, like with MMA now in Ireland, the two of you are starting to get a little bit active. Big story with you as well, Will, as you were off in the EFC. The reality TV show, what was the actual name? I'm terrible at this. I keep telling everyone.
It was called The Fighter, originally enough.
The Fighter.
Yeah, so that was 10 of fucking undefeated middleweights, all down in South Africa. And one of us won a contract, or one of us is about to win a contract to fight for a title and some half-decent money.
The show is still airing, so... anyone who's listening, yes, them cards were held very close to the chest. But how did it come about, Will? How did the opportunity for EFC come about?
John put it up in our group about April time, saying that over the summer there was going to be some sort of reality TV show. He didn't reveal it was EFC, and it all kind of progressed on from there pretty slowly. To be honest, I didn't think it was going to happen. About a week beforehand, I didn't think it was going to happen. And I was moving out of my gaff. My landlord was selling the place. So I was like, this would be ideal if it works out. But if it doesn't, I'm taking a fucking huge risk. So I literally didn't really know until like they'd sent me like, they were like, oh look, your fights are booked and you know, you're grand, you're in, whatever. But I was like, oh, send me on the booking confirmation. And your one just wouldn't for like a week. And I emailed her like 5 times. And then eventually when I went to the airport and gave my passport and the thing started printing, I was like, yes, I'm in.
We're in.
You weren't sure until you went to the airport.
That's hilarious.
It was really close, wasn't it? It was really close.
That sounds like my experience with a certain Chinese organisation. We want to fly you over and you know, to you up, so you know, get your flight, send us all your information. Never heard of again. So what was it? Was it similar to? Gee, is there any other fighter series that's a sort of reality TV show? I'm tough to think of one. Was it like that? Was it tryouts? Did you have to go over and try out and stuff like that to get in?
No,
or were you
so
in?
once you were accepted, you were in. All you had to be was undefeated and willing to go. Basically, was the criteria. But as soon as we got there, then there was like induction type stuff, and you know they picked teams and all that. So.
And again, like as you're here and it's still airing, we know you're not in South Africa. So it obviously, how long did it run for? Was it a 6 weeks? 6 weeks?
Yeah, 6 weeks down there. But we were 3 days before we started filming, and the induction day was the first. They didn't film any of the induction footage, so we kind of did a bit of sparring and all that then, and they all watched us except one of the coaches. and then they showed all the picking of the teams, and they filmed all that. And yeah, basically 6 or 5.5 weeks being recorded, and it's not completed yet though, the show. So everyone who's true, there was around the 16 for 4 guys, and then quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finale is the 8th of the 16th of December. So there's 2 lads flying back for that, and then they'll take other fighters back like they would with the Ultimate Fighter finale or whatever.
If you showed your worth in the promotion want to keep it.
Yeah.
And how did you find the experience itself? Was it astringent as, like, I know in the Ultimate Fighter,
Like the house,
they're
like,
sort
where
of
you're
locked
in a gaff,
down and
like-
you're not allowed to do anything.
No, basically, like, they were pretty grand about most stuff. Like, you were allowed your phone to text family members and to post the odd thing on social media, but they were, like, very, I wouldn't say very restrictive, but they kept warning you about putting stuff up. And even a few
Show related, like.
Yeah, or anything that would reveal the details of the show.
So
people
the
in,
likes
like,
of you in the African dress, looking like a Zulu, that wasn't show related.
that was grand, yeah. But I think now it's like anything that has been revealed so far you can keep. So the show's aired over there. I think they're on episode 6 now, and as long as, like, once it's aired there, we can go hell for leather on it. Like,
And what's crack with it over here? Is it literally go onto your friendly illegal stream and download it to watch
no,
it here? Or
they're
can you
trying to
get
sell
here?
it to a network here. I think they will eventually, but it's been slow to happen, basically, and it's been frustrating as fuck because I've 100 people ask me every week,
Yeah.
what's the crack with the show?
Yeah.
I will let you know when I know, basically.
Well, I'm one of them 100 people when I see it.
yeah.
It was a Bama Bellator or it was KSW, and I was like, how'd you get on the team? But again, good experience overall, getting the name out.
No,
So I know
like,
it's
as in,
something
like,
you've-
here's the thing. It was best 6 weeks of my life in one sense, because you literally wake up, train, food is free, order whatever the fuck you want. It's a mint lifestyle. Plus, I get off on that competitive buzz. As in, it was 10 other lads in the gaff, and you're all trying to find, like, one of you is going to end up winning the thing. So there is that element of, like, who's going to crack mentally here. And I don't know, I fucking genuinely loved the, like, kind of not macho-y shit, but they just, like, mind fucking people bit by bit by bit.
That's the thing, like, when you're in the house, like, do you turn off, or you're always thinking, I could be fighting
No,
you?
you're always on. And it was way more enjoyable. You'd think that'd get frustrating after a while, but, like, it didn't. Because they were all weak characters, basically. To be honest, like, as in, they were all
Get
well
off the
crafted.
fence now, we'll say it, Jimmy.
No, that's what he thinks.
Yeah, no.
One of the first days he was like, how's everyone? He's like, they're all shit. And I was like, alright. He's like, I'm definitely going to win this. I was like, okay, fair enough. How's Bill getting on? Yeah, he's definitely going to win.
It's wrapped up.
Yeah, so it was fun that way. I didn't get, like, super personal with anybody, but I was always just kind of playing with shit, like, a bit. They don't seem to have shown much of that on. They've sent me a few of the episodes and I've watched them, and I'm like, you could have gotten so much more drama out of this, because there was tons of real drama. You know,
And did they set up scenarios for you? Like, you know, the way, like,
We did
you just have to play-
challenges.
yeah, that sort of
that
stuff.
sort of stuff, but, like, none of that really incited any actual drama. I suppose, look, there's 10 lads in the house who are going to fight each other. There's naturally tension, and there's different characters, and even, like, I got on better with the boys on the other team than I did my own. I was the only lad in my team who spoke English, basically. Like, I had a fucking Brazilian lad, a German who was decent enough English, to be fair, a French guy with not a word of English. I was speaking French to him, a Cameroonian lad, and who the fuck else? We had a South African, but he was gone. He got ruled out for medical reasons, and then brought back in. But yeah, basically it was. What was I forget what I was saying.
You were going
Loads
on
of different nationalities.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You got on better with the other
Oh,
two.
sorry, yeah. So pretty much that the other boys were, like, much easier to talk to, much easier to kind of get along with, and there was a lot of tension with, like, some of the lads in my team, mainly because in any of the training sessions you're dominating the fuck out of these lads and nobody's too happy. The French lad was pretty good, and other than that, they were chronic.
Well, even though you're on the same team, you're both vying for the same title, essentially. You know what I mean? To win the tournament. So it doesn't matter if you're a teammate or not. You're still going to end up fighting them.
Yeah,
Just got on
like
great.
the first we did diary camp sessions, and the first interview they brought me in with there, they were like, how does it feel to be selected for Team Penna? I was like, I'm on Team Will, you know. I don't give a fuck about any of these lads. Team Penna's a fucking word, you know. Fuck that, like, I'm here to win this competition and these boys are just in my way, like, at the end of the day. And I took that attitude the whole time, and, like, there was lads there who like didn't know basic enough stuff at times, and I would help them and I'd try and show them shit to a degree, because at the end of the day it's fucking competition, like. And there was some very good athletes down there, but they just weren't good fighters, like.
So this whole thing about European fighters, you know, I know you're saying there's French lads and German guys there as well, but it's something I was actually speaking about in commentary yesterday at Clan Wars, was that Irish MMA especially has taken huge steps forwards. Like if you look at you guys, like as in, if you looked at a European fighter in the UFC like 8 years ago, it was like, he's British, take him down and beat him up.
Yeah.
That's gone now, isn't it?
Not big time, yeah. I think it's the opposite nearly. I think if you're a European fighter coming out of like the European scene and you've been there for a while, people know you're legit as fuck. Even like look at the Worlds now. There's a lot of Scandinavian lads in that, and they're doing very well. But the standard in general was unbelievable. Like, you know, there's so many lads in that who were like genuinely like they could easily be pros. They're probably better than the low level pros. Most of them lads,
That's
like,
generally how it is.
So in a weird way as well, Ben, like you had back in 2015, wasn't it? You competed in the Worlds. It's like it's different. You're not living in the house, but you're in the same area as them. So you sort of again was to be advice given there to Will with that, how to approach it, because you were constantly, as long as you kept winning, you were fighting a couple of days later, and of course you went all the way as well. So like again, that experience, do you feel that's helped you in your career as well? Although I know,
Evidently not. No, 100%. But I didn't have to give Will any advice. Will just smash his shit, and that's what he does. And didn't need to tell him anything when he was going over. But yeah, for me, 100%. Because I've done everything. I fought in a tournament with Will.
it's more just help personally. I lived in Ben's gaff for like a week before I left there. So
Oh, yeah?
like, yeah.
that's that damn landlord again, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I moved out the start of September and I was gone the 11th. So I had like a few days of just moving between
it was a
gaffs.
crossover.
So he put me up in his gaff for a few days.
This is actually, before we get too deep into it, right? We sort of said he's a fault winner in the tournament there, but now he's like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. You know what I mean? He's like stepbrothers now. Do you know what I mean? It's like after he's fought, did you just go? Did we just become best friends?
No, I thought he was a dick for a good while, to be honest.
So would I if I was asking for a rematch like 10 seconds after the fight.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm gonna fight someone proper next.
Yeah, I want to fight someone good.
Because it was quite funny. I was looking. We'll let you answer that because I'm just throwing another question. But as I was looking, I just thought I summed it up perfectly. I'm like, I'll flick through the lads' Facebook to get a good picture, just to put up a post that the two lads are. And it was like that picture was made for the two of you coming on. So it is. It's like, how did it come about? You know, going from rivals to, you know, he's your good friends.
A lot of it, right? So you messaged me for a rematch pretty much straight away after it.
Like a text or a Facebook message?
Added him on Facebook just to message him.
And I was kind of like, yeah, we'll see you in the new year or whatever. That was November.
Yeah, so I wanted to fight on like the Cage Warriors New Year's show, and you were like, I want to enjoy my Christmas. Like that's it. I want to eat and drink and shit. Leave me alone.
So basically, I was like, here, maybe in the new year, like after that, and then was like, this lad's a twat.
Yeah.
And then met him at another show. I met you when you were fighting Chris Meany.
Yeah, and you fought
Lee Bammer.
Lee Bammer that night. Yeah.
And we were chatting away for a good while that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's not the worst. He was half kind of like asking me a lot of questions about London and stuff.
Yeah, because I was kind of thinking about moving over there at that point. I'm just asking Will loads about it.
And then a few days later, we kind of kept on to each other, messaging each other and whatever. Yeah, and it didn't talk for a good while.
No, you messaged me once or something about like getting sponsors. Or something.
Yeah.
How do you kind of go about that? Like, because if anything, I'm good at that. And that was kind of it. And then then we didn't really just the odd time.
So when I was coming up, or when I was planning on coming up, I rang Ben because he was the only person I knew personally, and was like, "Do you think this would be?"
And we were on the phone for like 45 minutes or something like that. That was an indication of.
Do you think it'd be workable? Like, and he was like, "Yeah, definitely." So then I got in contact with John. Yeah. And then as soon as I came up, I suppose he was the person I knew, and we're both larger lads, so we were training partners.
There's it's kind of scarce in SBG. Like there's a group of what?
I think it's scarce in every gym in the country, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think we were competitive with each other as well.
Yeah, I still remember the first night. Yeah, I was like, sure, this lad can't stand up. and then like 3 jabs later, when my jaw was sore, I was like, shit, I have to take him down.
So yeah, we trained together a lot at the start. and there was a Canadian lad, Joey Morency, over.
Oh yeah, money.
Yeah, so the three of us were training away together for a good while. Then just fucking life, you know. We started ice baths as well was one thing, because you were like, oh, you're so fucking into that, like, just keep going, keep driving in. So he was like, resilience, how do I train resilience? And I was like, ice baths are definitely the way to train resilience. So we started doing a lot of shit like that together. Plus, I think like just fucking time and being around, you know.
And like beating each other up.
Yeah, generally. Plus, like, yeah, there's not many other big lads who are consistently in there, and he is.
Because it's something as well. Like I remember going back years, like when you were on the scene as well. Like I Ben would get to you with legends and how I met you and stuff like that back in the day as well. But I remember you coming up, and then you were gone because you went to England.
So I was here until 2014, and then I was gone to England for about a year and a half.
Because it was
when I fought in that tournament, I lived in England.
Yeah,
I flew back for that. Yeah.
Because I remember it was always like your name was mentioned with like the big bad wolf. You know what I mean? You were the figure that everyone knew the name of, but you sort of weren't seeing because you were in London again. You were away from the Irish MMA scene, but so it was more so true. You were coming back to Dublin, coming back to Ireland, and you messaged Ben to say, SBG, is it a good fit?
Well, no,
you was already back in Cork.
Yeah, I moved back to Cork in kind of July 2015, and spent nearly a year down there until April 2016, and I fought John Redmond, and it was just nothing after that fight. And I was kind of like, well, what's the next logical thing to do? I was like, this isn't nearly a career at the moment, like, and the little bit of work I had, I could move. So I was like, look, I can go wherever. I'm pretty mobile. Why don't I move? And I literally had no other middleweight training partners at that stage, so I just got on to him.
It's a logical decision. Really,
yeah, it kind of was, looking back on it. Like, it took me a long time to get around to it, because I was very close with a lot of lads that I was training with back in Samson, like, and we'd kind of come up together, a lot of us, like, and even when I was in London, I was flying back and kind of always part of that gym, like. So, but the community had sort of started to people had moved away, and it had all started to fracture out anyway, like.
Life again, sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
the way.
And then Forsyth, you kicked the fucking leg off me in a camp for remember that the way it was? Where was it? The Royal Marine, wasn't it? You were fighting
Gary something.
Yeah, and
can't remember his name.
For some reason, because I was only there. I was like this guy going to do fitness or whatever, because I was big and tall or whatever. Yep, get in there with Ben and fucking kicked the left leg off me. It was absolute death. But remember, that was the first time I ever announced, was that night.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first time. It was in the Royal Marine.
That's class.
Yeah. But then, so we trained together. You were in Legends for a while. But then again, you moved. You went to Australia, wasn't it? You went down to Oz.
Yeah, when did we go? I think 2012 to 2013 or something. I think I was in Australia. I think.
And you were training over there as well.
I was training just jiu-jitsu. And I was doing jiu-jitsu in the gi. That was the first time I started wearing the gi. I did that for a year over there, and I joined in their sparring sessions, but it was all kind of lighter guys. They're really good though. I just kind of, and that's actually, I was training with Dan Kelly over there. He was in the UFC now.
Judo Dan.
Yeah, Judo Dan. And didn't go well, but it was good. That was kind of my first real introduction to like proper MMA sparring, because in Legends before that there wasn't many people, so I went over there, and like you wouldn't know some of them anyway, but there's a good few pros over there, including Dan, and it was kind of my first introduction to like, this is actually what this is, kind of thing. And I was just doing jiu-jitsu, and I just came back after a year and joined SBG straight away. That was the time that Conor had just won that second Cage Warriors title. That's when I came home and joined SBG.
Did you plan to stay over there?
I was thinking about it. But then I can't fucking remember what happened. I didn't
just found your way back.
I didn't stay there. Yeah. I came home, but part of me was thinking, right, what do you want to do? I want to fight. And now I'm whatever age I was then, 22 maybe, or 23, and I was like, you're gonna have to do this now if you're gonna do it at all. So I was like, when I get home, I'm gonna join SBG, because that was even when I was in Legends, like SBG was like, oh my god, SBG, they must be good, or if you're fighting someone from SBG, they're good, kind of thing. So obviously that for me was just like the obvious place to go when I came back.
And how did you find, too, is a question about this, how did you find your game has evolved since walking in the doors of SBG?
I've probably gotten a bit more relaxed in the way that I fight. I used to just be kind of like, you're in there to beat the piss out of the guy non-stop.
That's London shoot fighters, because even in London shoot, and that's
Yeah, but they were a very technical gym too, to be fair. But I think there's just a much more relaxed approach, as in like, look, you have a life to get better at this stuff. It doesn't need to be balls to the wall today. It doesn't need to be balls to the wall every day. Sit back and consider stuff sometimes, and that's very important. And it was something I didn't really like. I would have trained technique a lot, but I wouldn't have sat back and observed it, and just come in and kind of thought about things a lot more. Like, definitely the mental side to it is something that I put a lot more effort into these days, and probably less so the physical side. I probably do less physical training, but I still train a hell of a lot. But like, I'm okay with kind of going a little bit easier a lot of the time, which is definitely a good thing. Like,
and that is one of the first things John said to me was like, "This is a marathon, not a sprint, so just chill," kind of thing. And it is kind of like that, especially as well if you want longevity wise. You don't want to be going hard all the time. It's just not sustainable. So
how's your point as well too? Who's been around the game for a long time now? It's quite weird like that. We say this because the sport is so young in Ireland, but like in comparison to like even when we go back to like the Ryerson tournament, like even into then, how much it's involved. Like it
feels completely different,
isn't it? It's like apples and oranges. It really is.
Well, like you look at the amateurs now; they're fighting 4 or 5 times a year, easy. My first amateur fight was like my whole life was spent preparing for it. It was the biggest event that ever happened. Like, and that's how all of the amateur fights were back then. It wasn't like same day weigh-ins, no big deal. You'll have 4 more of these by the end of the year. It was like, this is your fucking life. Everything you've done up to now only matters for this one point. And like, there's nothing after today if you lose. Like,
that was it.
Whereas now they have a much better attitude towards it. I think where they're just they get in this scrap, they get a bit of experience,
which is part of what John and stuff is trying to create with. I'm a
mama.
And stuff like that. It's such
the Irish Mixed Martial Arts Association.
That's the lads, but they're that's the way it should be. Like boxing, the way boxing. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, has a structure of some sort.
Yeah.
But you see it now as well. Like it's like there's a lot of I think I actually think it's a really really good thing. There was a lot of shows at amateur, and it was really thin. While there's not as many shows now, but they're of a much higher caliber.
They're really good, isn't it?
For like, as in the setup for a young fighter, like you were saying, you think your whole life is this moment is the moment. But like, there's a lot more structure to it, and it's more this is amateur. You're getting experience, and that's really, I think, jumps out at the shows when you're at them now. But even you look at the young professionals, the guys like the Dylan Tukes, the James Gallagher's, the guys coming out of your gyms. You look at like even like, I have to say, I know lads are pros there, but Ian Gary last night at Clanmore's 30, he's out at Chris's SBG Swords, Chris and Tom. Holy lamb of God, this kid is frightening. But like, that's what I'm looking at it, and you see the new breed, it's almost like the Avengers are, Cottle, Ash. Do you know what I mean? These are almost like the original Avengers, and and you guys are the second wave, if you know what I mean. You are the new breed coming through, and it's just the talent. The talent though is just like, you see it every day on the mats. Like, the talent in this country, I don't just mean limited to SBG, but the talent coming out of this country, I think it's phenomenal. I think the future for Irish MMA is unreal.
I suppose you're not aware until you go elsewhere. But when I got to Africa, I was like, God, there's shit. There's so in comparison though, like, and like, I'm getting dominated on the mats day by day, like, and I go out there and it's just like, you lads are all terrible in comparison. Like,
Will rang me up and said, Ben, you're actually good. Ben, you're better than these lads. I was like, no way.
Get out to Africa.
I'm fucking going.
But let's talk about that, Ben. You won the Worlds.
Euros, but
the Euros,
Same
the IMAX Euros,
Same
Euros, Worlds,
whatever.
There
was a medal. That's all about it.
It was gold.
Put it this way: I'm the only Irish European champion.
There we go.
Well,
But the professional career, just to bring it back to earth with a thump. Professional career.
Yeah.
Currently.
It's going great. It's going great, isn't it?
No, well, let's address it honestly. Like, as in, what is your thoughts at the moment? Where do you feel mentally with how it started, and what are you doing to address it?
If I could go back, I would have done more IMAF tournaments if I really had the choice to do it. But I don't have the choice to do that. So, honestly, right now I feel amazing. I keep saying this to Will, but I don't know why. I just feel fucking great. Because I'm learning more now. I'm just putting a big focus on learning and stuff. And although last fight ended up in with me, as my brother said, being 69 to sleep.
Yeah.
It was a bit like it was the best I've ever felt coming out for a fight. I just felt like I was in. I don't know. I just got reminded of why I'm doing it, and it's because it's fun, and that's why I want to do it. Not because it defines. Being a fighter defines me, yes, but winning or losing doesn't define me. But I just kind of got reminded of just coming up to that fight, and then definitely since that fight, I'm like, I'm just doing this because it's fun, and I'm happy to be able to do it. So, and you're gonna incur losses. As long as you keep making good decisions, the wins will come. So I'm just gonna keep making good decisions.
And what's what do you think with, like, I know it's especially there's a lot of new shows coming to Ireland, like you've Bellator, you've Batman, you've KSW, you've Cage Warriors, and then like you've other shows, the likes that I mentioned, like Clan Wars does have pro fights on it as well. Cage Legacy now has pro fights as well. Do you feel like that maybe
could have done more of them?
Yeah, maybe build it up that way. Because I don't know. It's funny. I always ask this question to fighters when I ask. Does it matter when the cage door closes if you're in the Tree Arena or if you're down in Cabinteely School Hall? Does it matter?
Not really.
Depends on the person. But
Depends
to
on
me,
the person.
not at all. To be
Doesn't
honest, like the more you feel the energy of the crowd, the better. Like, 'cause you get something from that. Like
that last fight at BAM was the most cheers in red comments that I've gotten. I was like, holy shit, this is deadly, and I just felt so good.
Yeah, my first fight like ever was in this charity thing down in Waterford, and it was in front of a crowd of like 800 packed into a little stadium, and they were all pissed and going mental, and it was just unbelievable amount of noise, crazy atmosphere. There was only lights over the ring, and the ring was tiny, like so you're in this sweat box with this other huge, but it was like afterwards just that adrenaline and buzz and rush of it. So I was like, the bigger the better. More of this, more. Like I want to fight for 100,000, and I want them on top of me, like
it's like only underneath them.
Well, it's like it's a stupid comparison, but fuck it, I'm halfway there. I'm gonna do it. When I'm announcing, like, right, I honestly get more jittery when it's a little small hall and literally Mary's sitting looking at you going, "What are you gonna say?" Do you know what I mean? And you're going,
but there's a disassociation with the crowd, as in if it's a huge amount of people, you don't give a fuck. It's just a crowd. The whole thing is just that. Well, that's the crowd. But
I even find,
but if you can see your mom or you can see fucking somebody, then it's like, geez, my mom is watching this.
I've done shows where I've done raffles, and the person in the front row go, "You've won." I can see. Look, it's 11. It's 11. Yellow 11. You've won. And then like. But I find when I'm introducing fighters, especially if I'm doing in cage and I'm turning to you to start introducing you, when I'm starting introducing, I walk towards you and I end up shouting your name in your face. By the time I'm doing that, all I see is the fighter in front of me. I don't see the surroundings.
It's the same.
So is it the same when you're fighting?
Yeah, I find it is, again, like Will said, it probably depends on the person, but I feel like I don't ever really pay attention, bar like that one moment where they kind of cheer and you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, but that's really it. And
again, big arenas, you fought them now.
Sorry, I know I'll get back to what you were saying. If I could, well, I don't know. There's no point in me saying, it would have been better if I had done a small show, because I didn't, and all I can do is deal with whatever scenario I have right now.
Does it fucking matter though? That's what I'm thinking. As in, like, you look at most lads who've gone on, or not most, but like a lot of lads who've gone on to have great careers. Fucking 1-4, 2-4 at start of the career.
1-4.
Yeah, he was 4-0 or 0-4.
0-4 was it? Jesus. You know what I mean? And then he's a modern day working class hero.
But I think a lot of it is just having the balls. Having the balls to keep taking the challenge, having the balls to keep going, having the balls to keep backing yourself.
Yeah, I got some big balls now. That's some big ass balls.
Yeah, we're standing beside you in the cable there. I wasn't that impressed.
But I feel amazing to answer your question. Like I know I'm coming of 3 losses in a row, but
does that play in your mind when you're coming up there? Like, I don't know if it's a fight, there's nothing out there at the moment, but does that play in your mind leading up to it? As in, I've got to win this fight, or
it doesn't.
Maybe if you were like let's say you were contracted to whatever promotion, and you're on a contract with them, and you knew I'm 3-0 with or 0-3 with this promotion. I may need to win here because that's maybe with the going between different cards. Is that there are different promotions?
Well, I was supposed to have a 3-fight contract with Raven, and they dropped me after 2 because I lost 2. You know, but what are you gonna do? It's a business. You fucking pay. You pay to be a killer. You get paid to be a killer. You're not a killer. You're out. That's how you.
But does it play in your mind when you're leading up to it? When you're in fight camp? You know, is this a
well, I don't know. I haven't done it yet. Yeah. So when I had 2,
that was a sneaky way of asking if you have a fight.
I know. When I just they were all within all the losses were within 8 months as well. Very very fast. So if anything I've learned, just maybe don't rush a little bit, and that's why I'm kind of taking my time now. Like I've had, if I counted them up recently, I've had like 14 fights in the past 2.5 years. I just fight fucking all the time.
That's insane, yeah.
Yeah, and so this time I was like, right, maybe I'll chill. But that being said, I'm still ringing Will, going, here, can I take a fight like next week? And I was like, no. But I.
So you were the sort of / advisor, manager on the side.
No, but we just
He's
kind
a
of
realist.
Bounce off.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, no, I think
Will, he like tells me like it is, you know, like
Yeah.
I might be like, you know, but I feel grand. He's like, but like you just said that you weren't.
he'll
in-
contradict himself
in the
within
best
a
shape.
fucking
Yeah.
day of what he
Yeah,
was
so like
last
that was actually within 10 seconds. So are you fit though? Well, I'm all right. Like he's like,
Yeah.
wait, how did you? But do you really want to fight? Yeah, I feel great. You just said that you weren't fit.
Yeah,
It's like but I will. So it's good to have someone like that though, because that's what maybe has hindered me a little bit. Is I'm always eager. I just want to keep going, which I think would also pay off if I fought next week. I think, and even if I lost, I just keep going, and then I just fucking, you obviously don't like thinking about that, but I don't actually give a fuck. Like I'm just gonna, I'm really enjoying just being able to do it. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. And naturally I'll get better at it because we're fucking training loads and getting fitter and mixing it up and evolving, and like evidence shows that the more you do, the better you get, the more you show up, the better you'll get. So fuck it, who fucking cares? There's no champion in the UFC right now who has no loss on the record. Like I mean, I know, and who's to say that you have to go 5-0 and then get a loss and then do 2 more and then get a loss, and everyone thinks there's this set pattern, but everyone has their own. Everyone has their own thing, and maybe mine is getting my ass whooped for a few fights and then going, do you know what, fuck this, like Neil, and just keep going. So that's what's going to happen.
Well, you see fighters like Paul Redmond's an example. Like he went to the UFC, and a lot of people, when he went to the UFC, he lost his fights, and everyone was like, "Oh, he's not good enough" or whatever. Like idiots. And but now you look about, like Paul's on is he on a fourth fight win streak now? And he's taking fights. He did say to us after,
He's going to take a break.
yeah, because he felt Bellator, he didn't have to pop or whatever.
He deserves it. Like, he deserves a break now. And then at that show, like when he was coming out, I was looking at his record on the screen.
Yeah,
was in no way correlated to the reception he was getting.
Yeah.
And I was like, none of this shit matters. Like it's just your perception of yourself, and then which will then in turn affect people's perception of you. If you just keep fucking going and saying you're.
We had Dylan on, and we spoke when we were speaking to Dylan the night he lost to Cameron Nelson. I'm a terrible interviewer. I bring up terrible things to people and then bring them in, like I bullshit sandwich them, tell them something else. But I was talking about, because I thought, like, for me, like when we were standing backstage as Dylan was coming out against Cameron Nelson, and I did, like, the hairs on my arm stood up, like, with the reception.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
And then how I referred to it was like, and then Cameron Nelson just plugged the socket out, and it just went dump.
Yeah.
And the rest of that night was a bit dead, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was
just
mad.
died,
Everyone
like-
started leaving. And it was just
But it was weird, because I remember our interview, Rob. Dylan said something like, "I don't feel relevant." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like.
That's pretty much how I feel.
Yeah, but as I was saying, like, then Dylan fights there, 2 weeks out now from
after
his
10
back,
month
and
break,
look at
he's
that
back,
in reception he got
Great.
again, and they're going, how can that young kid tell us he's not relevant or people don't care? And it's the same with you, like,
But
your
it-
reception is huge as well when you come out. But the Irish will always get behind.
Yeah, and
if
if
there
you-
was a green fly and a normal fly up a wall, the Irish are going to roar on the green fly. Like, we get behind our athletes.
Yeah, and it's true. Yeah, and I think the Irish really like that kind of just keep going kind of attitude and all. Like, I remember after winning the Europeans, the amount of people that were just like, "Oh, that was deadly," like, because you were shy and then you won. You know, do you know what I mean? You're like, that fair play to you. You know,
It's backhanded
yeah.
compliment.
yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I remember walking into the local pub in fucking Diego.
Yeah.
I'm going, "Oh, there's the champ and all this kind of stuff. That was deadly. Like, do you remember you were shy?" And then you won the Europeans. Isn't that class? I'm like, yeah, it is. I suppose I kind
Must
of
have been a very poor tournament.
But do you know what? Fuck them. I've got the gold medal. So.
And you sleep the gold medal?
No. I don't. But Will sleeps with the belt over.
I still have the belt.
He still has the
Yeah.
belt. The first
the
time,
only thing.
the first time I went over to Will's house,
But
when I went into his room and then it was fucking literally over his bed on the thing. I was like, no, just a little tear.
Everything
Little
else got
tear
nicked.
in it.
Like,
Did you let him in the bed? Were you afraid you put him asleep again?
Mic drop.
It's only because I'm over here, I'm out of reach, I think.
Yeah, the belt is the only thing that didn't get nicked. Every other, like, bit of gear and bit of fight stuff I had was in my car after I'd moved up to Dublin, and I was only here about 5 days, and some lad smashed it in the back of my window and
But
nicked
they left the
everything.
belt.
No, well, the belt was... I'd actually taken the belt inside already because I had to sleep with it, obviously. So it's the only thing I have. Or, well, I got sent on New Gear by animosity.
Some fucker smashed your car window.
Yeah. And
Shit, Will has a terrible habit of getting stuff stolen and losing stuff. And
I lose a lot of shit too, but like this was not. I was kind of...
But you know what it is? You always see these YouTube videos, them pages shared them where guy robs MMA fighter's car. You always see that, like, well, not that, you know, just because you're a fighter doesn't mean you're violent, but they could pick on the wrong person and these people get their own.
It's more like here, it's not even...
That was a welcome to Dublin, Will. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's not worth it. Like, what are you going to do with that sweaty gear?
That was it. It was like, this isn't worth that to you.
Hold on now. We don't know results, we don't know whatever. All of a sudden you fight, you're the UFC champion. This guy's gone around with the UFC
this
champion.
This lad's paying attention.
Job.
He's been holding on to that sweaty shot for years. Well, give it about 2 years, you might have a bit of residual value on them now.
Yeah.
So we can't see. This is weird. I can't really pose the same question because we're locked down. We can't say too much about what's happening. But like with all the promotions coming, we got to think this is a good thing. All the big, it's good that we're getting attracted.
Oh, regardless, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think.
It's class.
I'm not signed to anyone long term.
Yeah.
As in, I'm a free agent, and I'll always be a fucking free agent. I gotta think, like, put yourself out there as whatever the hell you're like. You're the product here, and people are gonna have to bid for you, and it's whatever they're offering.
But you look at the shows coming here. That speaks volumes, I think, for the talent that's here, because they're coming here and they're filling the card with, like, I remember Bama, like Cage Warriors were doing it a long time ago, and then Bama came and sort of, remember everyone when they booked the Tree Arena? Tree Arena, she's getting a bit ahead of themselves here. But they packed the card with local talent, Irish fighters.
Done it the right way,
You have to do it.
And sure, look at the last one, they flipped it. They put Bama on second and Bellator
Worked better though.
Yeah, because everybody like in fact, like,
great atmosphere for Richie's fight. Like,
it was excellent. What did you think of Richie's fight in the end?
I thought he was doing unbelievably well considering the fucking torn ACL.
Insane that he was fighting with that.
And I think going into the second round, Lahore would have been the more nervous fighter. To be honest, like, he got caught, couldn't quite get that takedown. He was lucky to get it in the end. Then he got reversed on the ground. So that leg lock was kind of a get out of jail free card for him there.
That's weird. Originally, he was saying like he was telling us they were taunting when they're in the cage. When Lahore was on top of him, he says, "Remember, you howled my neck, and now I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." And then Richard reversed him and was like, "Now I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." Well, I thought it was an excellent card.
It was great.
And again, like, because I remember when we went to KSW, we were like, Jesus, Bellator and Bama have to step their game up here, don't they?
That looked insane. I'm really good at I missed that, but that's hard to top.
Chris Field standing in his little box.
Punched up in his little box.
Couldn't even get him one that fits him.
But we missed that. We actually missed that big intro because I seen it on Reddit the other day, and I'm like, "What's this?" The next minute the boy comes down and he's going, KSW. Irish people.
You were so jealous of
fight. You know what I mean? Polish people like to fight. I was like, this is fucking epic.
Yeah, it looked deadly.
It was.
Buying a silver microphone, and every week here, and obviously fights out just KSW. Let's move ahead, I think, and let's talk about some of the big news stories in the week, lads. So this is where we're going to jump and get your opinion on these things. So we might be throwing these at you. So if we apologies, I don't mean that really, but top UFC light heavyweight, according to rumour by a stoned Joe Rogan, who gave it away on his first, what did he call it, the MMA Joe Rogan
he called
MMA
it the
show?
MMA Hour first, and then he changed it because he was like, "Oh, sorry Ariel, I rubbed your name," and he just called it the MMA show, Joe Rogan MMA show,
number one, hashtag number one. But the UFC light heavyweight contender Volkan Ozdemir, as Joe basically gave away, looked like he was scheduled to fight DC
said
for the title. Well, he said he's going to fight him next. He was arrested on Saturday night in Florida for aggravated assault, basically. A report today wrote that the attorney Bruce A. Rob loves giving me names, Zimmett, described the incident that informed the basis of the case as nothing more than a barroom altercation in which Mr. Ozdemir, who was not the aggressor, was totally justified in his actions. So basically, it looks like he got in a bar fight. And this is what quite weirdly I just said. You'll end up picking on the wrong guy one night, and geez, you don't want to pick on Ozdemir. He'll knock you out in seconds. But what? Sounds like it's blown out of proportion here a little bit.
Well, you don't really know yet because nothing really has really come out. His attorney came out and
He
said
said he was defending himself.
Yeah, he was defending. That's his. That's
what he
his.
fucking says.
That's his.
Oh, that's his.
That's his.
Yeah.
His
I
guy.
swear.
So who
The
knows,
UFC have put out a statement saying they're looking into it, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, they're looking into, but like, who knows what happened? Like, I assume, like, the read you get from him on his public persona, which who knows, like, what he's actually like. But the read you get from him, he doesn't seem like the type of guy who's gonna go out and punch someone around. So maybe take it for its word, but then you have to see the other evidence that comes out. I just think that light heavyweight division is just wrecked. Like John Jones and now Ozdemir falls out. Like, who's left to fight Daniel Cormier really?
Gus.
Jimmy Manuel straight away is like, I'll have him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he tweeted again, being like, "Oh, but actually, I know that Gus is supposed to be
Yeah,
the guy,
yeah.
but I was just saying, like, they're unavailable.
Because Gus doesn't want it.
because they're
That would
teammates,
be-
you know.
yeah.
But, yeah, obviously, it would be Gus. It would have to be Gus. wouldn't it?
But they done that already as well, which just there's no fresh
close
matchups.
fight, though.
No, it was a close fight. It's just no fresh matchups in that division really.
Who else? Is there not anyone else in that?
Rumble
What about your man
retired.
Latifi?
I wouldn't mind seeing
Where's
that
he
one,
ranked?
No,
Latifi's
watch
number
it.
is
I'd watch
five.
it.
Let's go.
Is
have a
Latifi
look
up there
rankings.
somewhere? No.
No, I think Latifi is not. Latifi's fighting
Did-
soon. I'll put the mic away. Look, hello.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, he'll be doing no time anyway.
No, it looks like it's. To me, it doesn't look like it's.
Legit.
Who knows?
Yeah, when you
Who
first see
knows?
it, it's like. I first seen it on one of them stupid. I don't know why I followed him on Facebook. You know, you like these pages, and it rolls you in because it says that you write a favour or something like that.
Yeah, it's your favour or BJPen.com.
Yeah,
One
or
of them.
BJ Penn, and they
Or
say.
Randy Couture's fucking notorious for that. Those pages are terrible.
Yeah.
And that's where we get all our information for Obviously Fight Talk. How dare you? But yeah, for me, it sounds like it's a nothing story and they're just putting it out. But if it ruins his chances at a title, it is a bit shit. Like.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Depends what happened.
Yeah.
Do you know,
It
at
really
times,
does.
the only thing, like, we haven't a clue. We're sitting in a fucking room in Dublin talking about
That's what we
something
do.
like
That's what we do.
And
No,
he's,
but like-
it seems fine. It's grand. It's
grand. I reckon get Daniel Cormier in against a headset. Just that wire. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And Rogan's talking to him.
Yeah, it's chasing him around the place.
Great stuff. Just him or Tug Rose. Get Tug Rose to fight him just so we can show Tug Rose. Fabricio Werdum's going to be in court on December the 13th in Sydney. That's great. He's in Sydney. He has to fly home. And now he's going back to
trip
Sydney.
back,
On common assault summonses as a result of his 5-week altercation with UFC welterweight contender Colby Covington. Now there's a bit of background in this. Colby got on the mic after he won, beat Damian Maia, and what did he call them? Filthy Brazilian animals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, he said something about that.
Yeah, so this sort of came. So Fabricio was fighting
Apparently
for
he
Brazil.
said it to Fabricio as well.
Yeah, he
That's
called
what
him a
Fabri-
filthy Brazilian animal.
He seen him
Yeah.
across the street and said it to him apparently.
So he's going to court. It's like, have you seen the footage of it? Like it'd literally be like
The boomerang, I
just
haven't
two
seen it.
Yeah.
hits at him.
It's like every
That's it.
like every game of football. Like
It was ridiculous. Like, and for Covington, he was talking the big game, and you know that's probably the easiest thing that could have happened to him by any Brazilian.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you know what?
Handbags.
Alright, that Covington lad's a fucking twat anyway.
He's getting the reaction he wants though.
Exactly.
That's
There you go.
that's
We're here talking about the lad.
Yeah.
And we're justifying that.
I respect
And
him.
this lad bringing him to court now is like, oh, what a
I didn't know who he was before all
Yeah.
this match.
Yeah.
But see, this is the thing, isn't it?
But
Like,
it's how
he's
far
playing
do
the
you want to go with this?
Yeah.
As in,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
How much do you want to degrade yourself
Yeah.
to get your name out there?
Play the heel,
And I
to be
think
the guy.
But it
that's-
doesn't really play into the role then.
But
Colby
not
using
right.
a boomerang.
Play the heel.
Yeah, that's-
do whatever. Like be that
Yeah.
wrestler type character. You know, make people angry. Do this. But he's taking a lad to court.
Yeah.
He's been,
Dick move, like
he's
big
been-
time,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It's out of the storyline. It doesn't coincide with what
Like
story he's trying to create. Like,
But as well, when you look back, this is we've talked about this a bit. It's the new era as well. Like you get lads who just talk shit, and some of them like are horrendous at it. Like,
Yeah.
And then you've geniuses that like Chael Sonnen. I listen to Chael Sonnen talk shit all day. I just love him, and he knows he's taking the piss. Connor is also amazing at it. Connor could be a stand-up comic with his timing of how he comes back with people. And then like I always talk about Tito Ortiz and Frank Shamrock. There was like.
Beat you into living death.
Yeah, I'll beat you to living death. Brilliant. But like some lads are just good at, but it's the new era. Almost like the rosters are so big that they almost feel they have to become this guy to get noticed. And as you
they're
say,
right,
Will, it's
like,
working for
they're-
Compton.
they're
Like we're
right.
talking about him.
They do have to do that. Like,
Yeah, to a degree they do.
You have to make
But
yourself relevant.
I don't know. I think they're like everything comes one way and then it goes back the other.
Yeah.
I think we've seen this kind of WWE era start.
Yeah.
And it's for people to decide whether or not they like it. And look, we'll see over the next few years. Does the dollar go this way or does it go that way?
yeah.
Sorry. do the fans fucking buy into this more, or do they buy into that? But I do think there's going to be a little bit of a kickback towards legit fighters. And if you're a legit fighter who can talk shit, perfect. Then you're the guy.
That's the perfect.
But that's it. Like, if you can talk shit, like, I just think if you're good at it, go with it.
And this Covington lad, I've actually watched him fight. He's not terrible. No, he's grand. But how far do you want to go as well?
Yeah.
It's just...
And
be funny, be hilarious, be something like, as in like play the heel, but like do it well. If you're gonna be that dick,
and then don't bring someone to court for trying to
That's what. Who was it? I think it was Luke Thomas was talking about and goes, technically, it might have been Luke, so I could be wrong there. So I think it might have been someone who was like, technically a boomerang is a weapon.
Apparently, it is a weapon.
So that's what it was. It was done for killing birds and stuff. It was Joe Rogan, that's who it was. It was Rogan. Rogan had said, like, they were doing research while, having a few beers and other stuff. And they basically said, Jesus, the date range they gave for the boomerang being invented, it was between 25,000 years and 50,000 years ago. And bit of discrepancy in the time there. But it was originally set as a weapon to kill birds and stuff. So you throw it up, hit the board, it comes back to you.
You have to be pretty skillful to do
Dinner
it.
once
mate.
it hits something, it doesn't come back.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
Right,
dead.
But if you miss, it comes back. So it's pretty cool.
It's a cool invention.
Let's not shit on the boomerang there, guys. Come on.
How did they come about it though? How did they figure it out? It had to be a mistake. This is what Rogan said.
Some cunt just got a weird shaped stick.
Yeah, but it's the same way.
And it was like, came back.
Viagra was invented for blood pressure.
And
that's how they came across Viagra. Viagra was for
the boomerang was for blood pressure.
Boomerang for blood pressure.
Show that your blood pressure
be grand.
diabetes get out there with that now. You'd be grand. But it's all little to do with nothing, and it is. It's such a to play the gangster and then go bring in the card. You hit me with a child's toy.
But now people want to see him get beat up, and that's what he wants.
And that's the thing. He's got to have people.
And maybe this is all part of it.
They'll be tuning in. That's it.
And then the opposite side of it is when
he has an
Rose
annoying
Namajunas
face as well,
won.
that lad, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
And it's just a weird one because he only started talking shit, so it's like it's weird. Like, them guys who don't talk shit up to a point and then they just go insane. It's not even like a gradual kind of thing. It's just
Do you know what though? He probably got to a point in his career where he's like, I'm a damn good fighter. I've been one of them. Like, I've load of victories.
and fair play to him for that. Like, get yourself out there, but
like a boiling point.
But go about it in a way that's some bit funny, at least. Taking people to court, fuck that.
But I think the other side of it then is a complete role reversal. Is Rose Namajunas beats Joanna. And then turns around and goes,
to everybody.
I'm just a happy person. Be nice, be yourself. Love people, and you're there going.
Awesome.
But I think that's one of those moments where you have the stage regardless. So whatever you say there, like the best thing you can do is something that's against the opposite. Because like you have that stage now. So just don't be boring. Just make a message and you kind of go, well, everyone else is doing this, I'm going to do this because I'm quiet and I'm humble. And it's like, Rose, go. So she was smart in that too. Like,
what else could she do? She couldn't really call somebody out. Like, she's a champ. It's not like she can go off on somebody.
You could if you want to fight. You can,
but
But I think our point was more she's been through a lot of adversity.
That's true.
Leading up to it. Like I know
and Pat Barry as well.
Pat Barry was
I don't mean to be super cynical. Like I think she did it out of her will. But it was still a smart business move. Like, I'm the
good girl, rather than Joanna was the boogie woman.
And I'm not going to be a shit talker. I'm just going to go out there and fight and do my thing, keep my head down, and let's be positive, guys. And it's just like a lot of people can buy into that message too.
It can work. Like George St. Pierre was never a trash talker, and he was a huge star. So it can work.
But he tried to talk some with Bisping, and it was terrible.
I think the thing about that is he had a platform regardless. So back then it was about being the best fighter. And it was about and then
do you think that's changed in the game now? It's not about being the best
again,
fighter.
like Will said, it'll probably go back the other way.
No, to a degree. I think it would be a kickback, but I don't think it's ever going to be like it was, where it was just like a straight up, he's very good, let's get these two guys to fight each other. It's going to be, he's very good, he talks a lot of shit, we can make a lot of money from selling that fight, let's get these two guys. And it's always going to be that. It's going to be profitability all the time.
It's business.
But I think you'll have fans who are interested in seeing two very good fighters fight each other.
And they have to kind of, if they're smart, they'll do both. They'll kind of play the both.
Do you think the UFC have to promote that more? Because I think sometimes the UFC, they have a great fighter, but they don't really come out and say, this guy is amazing. You have to tell people, like, this guy, this is how good this guy is. Sometimes
and in the past, they used it. So, like, St. Pierre, when they used to do build-ups for that, they'd be like, his jiu-jitsu is amazing. And they'd show clips of armbarring this guy or whatever. Now it's just press conference, never talk shit for ages. Which is great in a way. Like, fuck, Connor's press conferences when,
but not everyone's Connor.
Some of them get more views than they do.
The actual fights. But even like, look, I remember being in London and people would be running in on the mats being like, he's just said this. You know, it was like if there was live fights, nobody'd be talking about this. Like, you know.
Sure, thanks for the cheese. That stopped their office basically here.
Yeah.
We literally like, what happened here?
Yeah.
The whole building shut down. Like,
Yeah. Crazy.
Talking about good fighters, Darren Till and Cameron Usman are campaigning to fight each other next. What's right for Till after his star-making performance? Now I know, again, teammate of yours, and a fight I actually thought is a great fight.
It is a great fight.
Gunny calling them out, but Usman as well, absolute lightning speed and power is incredible. So I think there's so many great fights for Darren Till. But yeah, the Gunny one really excites me with that karate stand, and there's just like Gunny's like a master on the mat. Like
Darren Till fight Gunny. Don't be a bitch. Simple as.
Well, he said like you never know what's going on. That's the thing. Like he says he's up for and then all of a sudden he's fighting this lad instead. Like something. It's real weird. Like
it makes more sense for him to fight that lad from his point of view because I think Gunner would get him.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a bad
he's
matchup.
very good. In fairness, Darren Till's a legit fighter.
Yeah.
But Gunner, you know, he's gonna get
it'd be
you.
a very interesting stylistic matchup, wouldn't it?
Were you surprised by the Cowboy one at all?
Say again?
Were you surprised by the Cowboy one?
No, he breaks in like high pressure situations all the time. Like
Plus, I
you
think
never
if
know
you
what Cowboy's doing.
you just never know who's gonna be there. I fucking I
always
like
in that
the guy,
situation as well, like you'll see in this show, I kind of encountered that situation. If you're going in as a massive favourite, it's a weird situation. What do you have to win? If you're not whooping the guy's ass straight away, everyone's going, Jesus, this real underdog's doing okay here.
My
Like,
confidence is gone.
I think you're much better off approaching the fight as an underdog, like because you're fighting up, and it's like no matter what happens, he's got to win from the start.
Yeah, more pressure.
And if you're doing anything at all and you're staying in the fight, pressure's getting on him more and more and more.
Yeah.
So I think Till just used that to his advantage, but he's a very, very good fighter to be fair to him.
Yeah.
You know.
He was on with us here, and he was sort of like he spoke about he's willing to fight anyone. It seems that way, but yeah, I think Gunny is a great match, and it's a great matchup for both of them. Like originally, I think the rumor originally was Wonderboy, wasn't it? That he was going to fight Wonderboy.
Yeah, that one.
Then Wonderboy was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
never heard anything about this.
Well, Gunny makes more sense. Like
logically
after
next
the last
step.
fight, it's a bit of a
Makes more sense from our point of view.
Yeah,
Till's
that's-
point of view.
Teal wants Woodley. You know what I mean? That's what Teal wants.
No, but not even that. He'd like if Gunner gets you. Like if if you're within that range and he gets all in.
Well, then he wrote back and said yeah for no reason, and he's just trying to play show or what's the word I'm looking for.
I'd say he has a few people
Face.
in his ear just kind of going, nah, maybe that's not the best fight for you right now. There, you're
But
honest.
the weird thing is, right, is in the way fighters, there's so many agreements made online now. Like, is it?
I know, yeah.
Sean Shelby must just sit at home going, right, who's fighting who? Yep. Like, how much say should that have in it really? Like, as in,
Well,
you're
if
like,
the fighters want to
here's-
fight, yeah.
Right, here's what I reckon they do. They see that matchup made and they go, how much will that make?
Yeah.
You know, projected, okay, how much media attention did that generate? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And they probably have some algorithm that works it all fucking out for them.
Yeah.
They go, ding, okay, let's do that fight.
yeah.
What about the UFC's perspective? Because Darren Till is probably, they're looking at him like a huge star now. Do they want to put him in there against somebody maybe
That's
like
what I
Gunner
mean.
who can
That's-
finish him?
That's
or,
what it is.
yeah.
That's what
Maybe to a degree, as in the past, they haven't seemed to have done that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like Bellator seems to be more in the
Yeah.
crowd who kind of like shelter that champ. But maybe they're going to start because from a money point of view, maybe it makes sense. You know, whatever's most profitable, that's what they'll go with.
Yeah, but it's more profitable for him to keep going probably. If do you know what I mean? Like to keep to shelter him a bit, like and then he'll be bigger star in a while maybe.
What do you think about that as fighters? Because I know that's a big discussion amongst a lot of media people. Like, what's the best way to go in terms of building a fighter? Putting him in there against manageable tasks, or just throwing him to the
Depends on
Shark
the guy,
Tank?
depends on the character, I think. But like, again, is it a sport or is it a promotion? It's a promotional thing. We're here to sell and entertain and all of it. So from a promoter's point of view, it's easier to have this undefeated guy who never loses, this guy who's barely human, and look, we put him in against these guys, he kills everybody. Turns out those lads are shit, like they haven't been training properly and they're basically getting paid to fucking show up and get their ass whooped. If you look at all combat sports, boxing went this way as well. But you still get... How should it be? It should be a sport. Or we should have the best guys fighting each other, but that's not what it is. So if you don't like it, go play tennis. And I'm still here. I'm still involved. So like...
It's pretty much 50-50, maybe even more leaning towards promotion. It could be more like 60-40.
How do you mean?
As in like skill versus marketability, maybe.
Yeah, well, you
know.
you have to have some degree of skill to be, anyway marketable.
Like Conor literally is the perfect.
Yeah.
Talks, backs it up. You can do that, but that's a rare.
That's what they were talking about.
But I don't think he is
Costa
one
as
of
well.
them. Like, as in, like, Conor's not like that at all. Look, Conor made this himself and went out and fought the top guy every fucking time. Took the biggest step he possibly
Yeah,
could
like the
have.
Chad Mendes one is absolutely insane. Like, who takes that fight on short notice?
Yeah.
But that's insane.
And everything he's done.
And does exactly what he
that
said he's
way.
going to
Yeah.
do.
It's always been the, like, here's the most challenging thing you
always
could
pushing.
possibly do.
And
he's
apparently
gone
as
and done
well, I haven't seen it yet, but the Notorious, he had a really bad knee injury, ACL injury.
I
going
didn't
into that
see
fight
it yet,
as well.
but I heard something about that.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like they think,
believe it.
Like the whole fighting a wrestler, and he's going in with that, and
Yeah.
Mendes was taking him down. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Kelvin Gastelum told media in a conference call that he's not surprised Anderson Silva fell out. So there's a couple of points I'm going to go into this one. So this one could go on for a while, folks. That he failed a USADA drug test, and that Michael Bisping is a much bigger fight. To me, it wasn't surprising that he got caught, and so we've got to move on with the show. I feel like definitely tarnished his legacy with this, and it is what it is. The show must go on. So first, let's talk about Anderson Silva. It's alleged. Well, he has failed the test, but they're B testing now.
What
Has
do you
this
call it?
ruined
Yeah.
Anderson Silva's
No,
whole
right.
career?
It's basically like Christmas is totally dead for me now.
no Santa
Like, he
Claus.
was the last hope you had of, like,
Yeah.
nah, he's just a legit fighter. He's fucking
Yeah,
flexible.
the
and-
first time he was Chris's favourite fighter. And
Yeah.
then the first time he got done, Chris was in the gym. He was like, no.
Chris
Fields.
Yeah, because
He's
he was
like,
the one you could
"No,
buy
Anderson."
into. He was the one you could model yourself around.
Yeah.
And be like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
he's just a crazy bastard. He goes out there and he does it, and he does it
Yeah.
right through skill.
Yeah, he wasn't
you know,
like
and
he's
just
his,
about-
his figure.
Yeah, he was
shape
never.
as well.
Yeah. That's always a bit. You don't have to be
No.
that to be.
Yeah, I actually found out, like, the first one in January 2015. I was at a site meeting, and this lad from there walks in and goes, "Sure, man was on steroids the whole time." And I had no fucking clue who he was on about.
Yeah, sure, your man.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, your man, the black lad, steroids was. And I
Still
was
not
like,
aware.
"Sure, that could be fucking
Anyone.
Yeah.
And eventually I figured out it was Anderson Silva, and I was like, what? You serious? Like,
Yeah.
I was gutted. I was actually genuinely really upset by the whole thing.
Well,
Like,
himself, yeah.
yeah.
I love the way you said the black lad and thinking you're going to go, oh yeah, Anderson.
Oh, yeah, black. There you go, yeah. But,
Does
yeah.
it tarnish his whole career for him? Do you think it
Yeah.
leaves a
Yeah, same with John Jones, and that tarnished his whole career. And
I don't think as badly with Jones, to be honest, because you always
was
do John
always a
Jones.
fuck up, yeah.
Yeah, and he was always a wild bastard. And you always, like, look,
Yeah, Anderson was really like
When you
a
look at
role
what
model.
Rashad Evans was saying leading up to that, the truth will come out about you. Because at that time he was, you know what, thank Lord Jesus Christ in the Bible and all this. And Rashad was like, no, it's all the truth's going to come out. And you know what, it has come out. But
yeah.
I agree. I don't think John Jones is as bad as
Anderson, because he was like pretty much perfect. Up
He was
until that
modelling.
point, you know, he was a role model.
He was like the modern day Bruce Lee, even
was
wearing
great.
the colours, the
He was
tracksuits
great.
and all that. You know what I mean? It was really, he was the true martial
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
And, so I naively would like to think, you know, he's just an old guy going, I need a pep in me step.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
it's hard to look at it.
He's not- he doesn't-
As well.
Yeah, he's
and it's
good.
their culture. And he's
Yeah.
probably been in gyms hundreds of times where somebody's gone, you know,
Yeah.
why not, man? Come on, you know,
Yeah.
recover faster. Why? Get stronger.
It's okay.
Yeah, you know, you need this, brother, you know. You got recovery.
It's a good impression.
We're hitting all of them. But yeah, my heart broke. And when I seen this though, the second time, I wasn't as surprised by it.
Yeah, no.
That was it. Like he's
Well,
42.
It still, it shocks me that he got caught twice, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
You
it's
know.
more like that. His
Fool me once.
But I literally, I was flicking through Twitter and I stopped and I like literally read it as I was going and I just kept going. Like,
Yeah, it was
I don't
one of
even
them,
care. I don't even care. Like, fucking.
It's for a lot of people
and
now,
Now
isn't
it's happening so much
Yeah,
now.
it's
It's like whatever. Fuck. Whatever.
Another one.
Nate
Yeah.
Diaz, on steroids.
But
It's
it's brilliant that they're getting caught.
Yeah, fair play
You
to
know,
him.
it shows
Fair
something.
play
And there's
to
probably a
Golden
good few lads who are still getting away with it. And look, non-UFC MMA, fucking rampant. But,
Jesus. Yeah.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
How
that
do you-
bad, yeah.
How do you feel about being in that system though, where they can
Yeah.
show up any time of the night, they can wake you up and just test you?
I'd be grand with that.
Yeah,
I'd
no,
love
why
Do you
that.
not feel
to
though
be honest.
that fighters should be maybe paid? If they're like under, like they're not employees, they're only being paid to go in there and fight, but they have to stay under all these rules like the uniform,
Maybe the
drug
like,
testing, all that.
There may be, look, I'm not in this system,
Yeah.
so I don't know how stringent it is or whatever, but from what I've observed, it seems like they have to inform people whenever they're going anywhere. I can see how people forget to do that. Like, it does seem like that'll be a pain in the ass, and especially like if you're going out for a trip with your family for a weekend or something,
like
you have to ring USADA and fucking you know,
here,
I'm gonna be here for the weekend. Like, I don't know how that actually works in reality, but I'd love if I was in something like that now, and it was like, okay, this lad gets tested, you get tested, we'd come to your gaff whenever.
It'd be brilliant.
Because you'd have faith then in the system, and
yeah.
like you'd be assured in like, okay, I'm not taking anything, and I know our recovery is equal, and I know if I work harder, I'm better.
We're
You
literally
know,
now,
or
if
I'm
he
a
go
better
and fight,
athlete.
no matter what he go and fight for now, we don't know. Like,
And
true.
is that in the back of your mind when you're standing across the cage, you see a bloke and he's absolutely ripped to shreds, you could literally wash your
what did you
clothes
think when
off
you
as
fought
well.
me, Will?
What? But you did. You were so much more physically impressive, and I was like, Jesus, this lad is going to be a sick athlete. Like, but no, from a totally different point of view, like, it can be disheartening if you let it be.
Yeah.
Because you're always questioning, as in like, fuck, the amount of times I've gone, why don't I? Why don't I just? Because it's guaranteed recovery, it's guaranteed strength, it's guaranteed, and maybe it's not that amazing. I see it like, you know, I can beat the shit out of a lot of lads who have taken shit. So, but if you're damn good and you're on something, it's a big
gives you an edge,
advantage.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Makes
definitely.
a good person.
And when you're getting
Yeah.
torn limb from limb by a lad who's just fucking that much stronger than you, and his tissue is just that much denser than you.
when you feel it, you're like, oh.
Yeah. And look, it's like, look.
Ben. I'm not gonna lie.
But
No, that's it.
the thing is, it's a complicated issue, and it's a legit issue in fighting. Like,
Yep.
it bothers me day to day,
course.
like, as in, like.
Well, you were
it's
stepping
like-
when you were stepping in there. Like, I know it sounds terrible. You're saying, "Oh, you're putting your life in line," but you are getting into it. It's not like me and you are racing. It's not like we're in a 100-meter sprint, and I've taken stuff so I can run that a little bit faster than you. I'm in there throwing punches. I'm there to hurt you to finish the fight to get
And
it
that's
stopped.
kind of the reason, like,
That's
this
what-
should be a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
If you get done for it after, like, a post-fight test, where you test positive,
Sure, look at Mark Hunt.
let's fucking do those
Like,
lads for
it, should
assault.
be, it should be like that, like Mark suing him. It should be like that sort of scenario, or like they,
And you get to sue him.
Well, like the UFC are
Professional
trying to
damages.
shush Mark Hunt in so many ways. Like, he has a legal case against him because it's something like the last three
He
guys
hasn't done
he
himself
fought.
any favours
I
with the
know.
way he's gone
No,
out.
no,
Yes.
Yeah.
But like
For
when
sure
you look
learn
at it,
to
like he's
spell
fought Brock Lesnar. Like Brock Lesnar, like would piss through a cup and burn the bottom of the cup and the floor and go to your basement. Like from his last fight. Frank Mir is now suspended because he was on the juice. Bigfoot, well, he was on the juice. Was he when they?
He was on like that TRT stuff,
But
but
you
to
know,
be fair to
they-
him,
yeah,
he needed that shit.
He actually, he has growth
Legitimate-
hormone issue, and he's
legitimately needed it.
tumor on his pituitary gland or
Well, like,
something.
like when you're fighting, like when you're at that level, like Mark Hunt heavyweights, like if you're fighting guys like that, and surely there has to be like that should be legal, like you should be breaking some sort of legal law. Like
you should be able to do the guy for assault, or you
Yeah.
should, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure whatever way fighting works legally, which I don't quite understand, that there is some loophole that you can't do all that, but you should have
That's
some
a
sort of.
signed contract that
Maybe I don't know.
sport
I don't know,
event.
but there should be some recourse legally to say like, "Fuck you! You weren't human going in there."
Or they get
You were-
banned, like even if it's just they get banned for life or some shit, you know, or something.
It should be very.
But then you look at
something serious.
you look at Nick Diaz, who smoked a bit of pot, and he was done for 5 years.
It
Like,
has to be
that's-
circumstantial, yeah.
Yeah, well,
And-
it was just a couple of times he's been popped for. But
Here's why it's super complicated. There probably are genuinely lads who take tainted supplements.
yeah,
Tim
And then-
Means,
yeah.
he proved it.
And you know what was the other guy?
this is Carl Doran's thing about USADA.
oh,
They should
Romero.
bring out their
Romero
own
as well.
supplements.
And
There, that's what you can take.
You're a fighter in the UFC.
He
or
proved it.
whoever.
Yeah.
You're USADA. You have to take this.
They
If you
should
want to
do
take
that.
supplements. These are.
And imagine one of them came out being tainted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Either that or just go to Japan and take loads of shit and fucking. The one that stands out for me was Phil Baroni when he was talking to Ariel Helwani, and he turned around and said everyone gives out and criticises Pride fighters when they came across the UFC because all the Pride guys were cycling off the steroids. So that's not the fucking case.
Yeah.
It's just that the UFC guys were on better fucking steroids.
They knew how to.
And there's always a scientist out there who's smarter than the fucking.
Yeah.
Sure, have you seen that? What's the name on Netflix?
Icarus.
Icarus. Have you
Yeah.
watched that?
Yeah.
Icarus.
I hated that.
Did
Because
you?
it was so annoying. As in, he could have done right. The most interesting part of that was he was taking the stuff and he still lost.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
But then they made it this story about some Russian lad.
But that's because shit went down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he,
grand,
he wasn't
grand.
expecting shit to go
But
down the way it did.
Like, I was like, right, so he was cycling on for a
Yeah.
year and he was taking EPO and he was taking all this shit.
Yeah.
And he did worse nearly.
yeah.
Fucking, I want to know why that happened.
Bad advertising
That's,
for steroids.
that's the real science here. Like, let's get
Yeah.
into that. Like,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, look, some crazy Russian bastard.
Yeah.
And then they just make it about him being.
Well,
mad.
I honestly think the idea of Icarus was they were going to just keep following the cyclist guy, and then all of a sudden shit went absolutely
Yeah.
down in
That's
Russia,
probably-
and I
But
was
the-
like, Putin's involved. Oh, fucking
That
hell.
was
Let's stick to
mad,
this.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and that was great.
Yeah.
But that's a separate thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You want your man on his bike, get
Yeah,
up the
and-
hill quicker.
Yeah.
Why didn't you win? That's really interesting.
Yeah.
As in, like, that gives me a lot of hope. It's kind of like, well, this lad was
But though it wasn't the thing was he improved his time to a certain amount, but he still couldn't catch like the top
And he-
6. So are they on the stuff and they're cycling and being clean too?
maybe, but like he broke his chain as well, and there was a couple of other
Yeah.
little factors. But it was like, let's get into the science of that. Like, was your wattage higher? Was your output higher? Was you like, you know, did you improve massively? Did you become a much more efficient, you know, beastie athlete with the testosterone, with the EPO? And if so, why didn't it make that much of a difference? That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Whereas some Russian
Well, I
athletes
got
crazy.
wrapped up in the Russian mafia.
Yeah,
Did you see in the press conference when with TJ and Cody? That was so.
Oh,
fucking-
for
that was
fuck's sake,
so
yeah.
funny.
Jesus,
TJ was like, "Well, Cody's like, you're the one on steroids," and TJ, or no.
Yeah, the
other
opposite
way
way,
around.
yeah.
And he goes, "Well, you were the one who showed us all how to do it."
That's right, yeah.
And then just kind of went,
Oh, shit.
anyway, what's it?
It was
So bad.
Yeah.
So that was it. It's Cody
Yeah.
said to TJ, wasn't it?
You told Team Alpha Male how to do it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, it was unbelievable. You're the one who taught it. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
TJ said to Cody.
Yeah.
You're the one who taught everyone how to do it. And then just went,
Yeah, shit. Someone said that.
But what do you think in MMA here? Should there be something here to try and spot it, or is there?
There's not enough money.
Yeah,
basically,
Too big.
unfortunately.
not a single care.
Yeah. Well, not even that enough
Sure,
people care.
use care.
No, there's a lot of people give a
No
shit.
shows
Yeah.
at
But
all.
who's going to pay for it?
In terms
Is
of
it going to be the
financially, that's
promotions?
what I'm
Who's the
talking
body overseeing it? Like,
Yeah.
I'd love if there was
So you look
something,
at the kick up with and the likes of the brain scans and everything came in. That was, you
But
know what
that's,
I mean?
I'm
But again, nobody logical disagrees
No.
with any of
Yeah.
that. Like,
No.
and I
No.
think nobody logical disagrees with testing. But it's about like it's going to take some juice head beating somebody's fucking skull in enough for everyone to go, this is absolutely
It
ridiculous.
needs to be
And it's the-
recognised
it's the
as
governmental
a legitimate
thing,
sport.
yeah, it's
and
a
to
the
be-
governmental
yeah,
thing.
it should be, yeah.
You know, nobody has the money to
eventually
pay for it
it's
out of
just
their
going
own
to be
pocket.
slow. It's just going to be
Yeah.
slow. It's going to take a while.
I knew we'd go on about that one a bit, but second half it was Michael Bisping is stepping in. What do you think about this after, like, considering how many days are we out from Michael Bisping getting badly rocked by GSP and choked out?
I asked this on Twitter. I said, was he not given a suspension?
He was given a 30-day suspension.
But the fight is 24
20
days
yeah, 24 days after.
The thing was
But
like, well, why is it?
you can be given a 30-day suspension, and if the doctor
Yeah, or
goes,
doctor
no, you're
clearance.
grand,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
And isn't it's overseas, so the UFC are regulating themselves in China, which is kind of dodgy.
That
when you
old
think about
chestnut.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they get the
No, but
doctor.
it is. It's the doctor who can sign him off as well.
Whatever,
though.
like.
But what's it? Bisping,
Fair play to him.
big balls, yeah.
Exactly, that's what it is.
Because he was talking about retiring leading up to the GSP fight, and then he was like, "This fight left such a bad taste in my mouth."
Yeah.
And then he didn't want to fight Whitaker because he didn't want the long journey to Australia, and he was going to Shanghai.
Great. What a resurgence for a career. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he was just kind of just like.
I always
ticking
liked
away for a
Bisping.
while,
I
And then
always
just
liked Bisping.
boom. And then he's just having a.
Brilliant.
I don't like him as a person, but I respect what he's done in
Yeah.
the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Because
he's one person that can't.
it took a lot of faith in yourself, and he obviously put a shitload into it. And
Yeah.
a load of work must have gone in the past to still be like,
Yeah.
38,
And he was
39.
one on the steroid side of thing. He was one of the ones that go test these
yeah,
guys, test
always
these.
away
And
from
when
it.
you look at it, I don't think it's coincidence that Michael Bisping has had such a resurgence
Yes. Yeah,
in the
but-
division
I
when
hope-
all of a
I
sudden
hope
USADA
that's
has come
the case.
through.
No,
That's
you know?
that was everyone's point. Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you look at the people he's lost to, you're like, hold on, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
Dan
That was
Henderson
that was that guy.
Vitor.
That's dad bod Vitor now. So.
But the big thing with Vitor, we put up the picture, wasn't it? Vitor pre-USADA, Vitor post-USADA.
Yeah.
But the big thing was he removed Jesus from his trunks. As soon as you take Jesus off, you go flabby and dad bod. That's what it was. It had nothing to
no
do with
faith.
drugs. Yeah. But it's a tough fight for Bisping, but you got to give it them balls.
Absolutely.
Big balls getting in there on short notice
And
against Kelvin
fair
Gastelum.
enough. And after that, maybe he'll do this one and or whatever he wants.
Yeah, he says he wants to do
He
London then
wants
and
to
finish it.
England after,
yeah.
yeah.
John Phillips was calling him out for.
Yeah, I think that'd be a damn good fight. I think
Amazing
it'd be
fight.
And you know what's really weird? You put up highlights on Reddit. On Reddit, we put up highlight.
No, put up the video.
Was it?
That video.
But somebody was like, "Who the fuck's this fella like?" And you're there going like, "The UFC fighter? He hasn't had any UFC fights." And you're going, "Lads, wait till you see, like,
Wait until he
wait
gets
till you
in there.
see, like."
Yeah.
I think John Phillips' like promo thing should just be 30 seconds of him hitting a bag. Yeah, every boom.
Yeah, it's crazy.
scares me.
It's very scary.
I was over there on Obama Expo in the fucking all the bodybuilder thing. They had a big competition.
Birmingham, wasn't it?
Yeah, and John Phillips came in and was hitting pads and holy
The noise of it.
fucking God, scary like.
It's very scary. Even put him on.
Good chance John Phillips is here next week.
Very good.
So,
that would be
the amazing guest. He's class. He's a great character, man.
He's a really nice dude.
Yeah, he actually is.
Him
like,
and,
I love having him around because the atmosphere is just really good when he's
so
around.
funny.
So I was talking to him at Bellator, and I was sitting beside him, I was chatting away, and I said, you never know, you might get this big fella on. I done that to me. He goes, put your hands on me again like that. He said, you won't get any big fella on.
Put your hands on me like that again.
The accent as well helps, doesn't
It's
it?
class.
100%.
You can say whatever you want, man. Everyone's like, it's Santa, basically.
Yeah. He's not real.
Last week it was rumoured that Tyron Woodley was taking on Nate Diaz. They'd fight for the UFC welterweight title. Speaking recently online show with TMZ, that quality
News outlet.
news outlet. Woodley said that he has already accepted the fight the UFC offered him, and that Diaz needs to be not to be scared and sign the contract. This is a weird fight. This is what I said. This is a really weird fight, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
But to think like Nate's last fight was against Conor.
Yeah.
He lost.
Mad.
Yeah.
And now he's getting a title shot. Like someone are talking about Covington, Till. These guys are on winning streaks.
Yeah.
And they're going to get overshot by Diaz to get this.
Diaz is a superstar. Doesn't matter.
Is he a superstar?
Yes.
Pretty much is, yeah.
He stole that image. And the image is the main thing.
He has a huge following.
Yeah.
Even in Ireland, like.
He does, yeah. Diaz. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But what about the fight like that? Because now I seen somebody said it today. I seen it up on Reddit and I seen it on Twitter. He didn't have a blue tick, so I didn't take it really serious. He said that Tony
You don't have a blue
tick. Oh yeah, so never take that when I say serious. But he's that hurt Rob. He put me deep there. That Ferguson Diaz is close for to defend the interim.
I don't believe anything until Ariel tells me.
Yeah. Well, Ariel was.
He said it were very far from being confirmed.
But what do you think, Diaz Woodley? Weird fight, but
I think as well the UFC they don't really want Woodley to be champ.
Yeah.
I think Woodley walks.
Yeah, pretty easily.
It will be
Like look at the Rory McDonald fight with Diaz.
he made a mockery of Diaz in that fight.
Yeah.
And if Woodley is a really really high level wrestler, so
it's every time you don't know.
You don't know.
But the thing is, I find with Woodley, right, is Woodley's last few fights stylistically have been terrible. He's found a way to win the fight, like Damian Maia.
Very intelligently though.
But this is my point is that Woodley adopted to win the fight the way he had to.
Yeah.
Like nobody else could figure out Damian Maia. Like people were getting like you look at like one of my favourite fighters of all time coming back, Carlos Condit is like Carlos Condit was wiped out by Damian Maia.
Yeah. Look what he did to Gunny.
Yeah, Gunny is like an absolute master.
But again, it's that day, it's that position, it's that, they could fight again and Gunny could beat him. And they could stand up on the feet and Gunny was much better on his feet. So like
that's the thing, that's the shit thing about the sports, it's just it's that moment.
I know, but it's
George St. Pierre actually said something like that. He was talking about he doesn't believe it doesn't exist. The best fighter in the world doesn't exist. It's who's the best fighter on the night.
Yeah.
Because anything can happen. Like
and even like look at any major rivalry, like you've the Conor and Diaz trilogy. But you see fights where it's two same guys fighting each other, totally different results.
Completely different.
So it's not like he's that good and he's that good.
But and I'm sure it happens in everything. Like football, anyone in football can beat anyone in football.
I don't know, but then you have like Jones and DC. I think 99 times out of 100
some guys
Jones
just have
wins.
their number.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
But then, like, look, we're going off the evidence of they fought twice, they won both times. But if they fought 4 more times, DC won.
Well, sure. Look at Joanna. She's unbeatable. Unbeatable. She's unbeatable. Unbeatable.
And how many times have we been there and done that and gone like, no, she's very, very.
Well, we've always said like we like Demetrius Johnson too early, fighting him too early. He's fucked. Fighting DJ, he's fucked.
Someone will get him.
And you were saying it with Joanna. Like the problem is with the women's strawweight division, you get 1 or 2 wins. All of a sudden you have to fight Joanna, and it's too early, and you're going to be in trouble. And I was saying the same. Now I did give Rose a chance. I thought if she can cause chaos, she'd win in the scrambles and stuff like that. But she put on a massive class against her. But
who knew she had that power though?
I know.
When did she ever display that sort of
to
power?
knock someone out with that lead left hook is pretty. Like it's pretty tough. Like,
But like that's my point is that you're only unbeatable until you're beaten. And it can go like that.
She had like 6 fights or something going into it. Like who knows how good she got from there to there. Like that space of time as well.
That's why
so young.
That's why we watch.
So that's what I mean. Like with Woodley, like me personally, when I heard this, is like Woodley had run through the.
Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, you just.
Because he's a big Woodley is
I
a
just-
big.
It just doesn't
big
make
welterweight.
sense. Like, I'd like to see the fight, but not for a title, not at this time.
Again, all right.
But how pissed off you're
Yeah,
on
yeah.
a winning streak
Yeah.
in that division, and all of a sudden Nate Diaz gets it. You're going, what?
Yeah, of course, you're ridiculously
Yeah.
angry, and that's the thing. There is no fucking legitimate rankings.
Yeah.
It's all what's going to be most profitable.
Yeah.
And as much as like I can criticize it and I can go, yeah, that's a load of balls. I'll watch that Woodley Diaz
Yeah,
fight.
yeah,
Because
I'll watch it,
it is interesting. It is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
here's this lad talking.
That's
about
why they
shit,
wanna
this
make it.
twat
Yeah.
who's gotten beaten twice, and now he kind of needs this win.
Yeah.
So there's a drama storyline, and there is that thing, and we're all invested in it because we all know Nate Diaz,
Yeah.
and we all have a clue
Yeah.
who Woodley is, and that's the main thing that matters. Do
Yeah.
people know who you are? Do people give a shit that
Yeah.
you're fighting?
They should
So,
rejig
they probably
the
will do
rankings
that
for
fight.
who sold the most pay-per-views.
Yeah,
That'd be the most legitimate.
It actually
ranking
would,
system.
yeah.
How many pay-per-views sell last time?
We'd be watching Conor against Chael before we know it.
Yeah.
But imagine what that would sell.
I
Like,
know,
you what
right?
I mean? Like,
Fucking amazing. Imagine the build up to that fight. I'm in.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I'm fucking in.
Brock Lesnar's fighting a bear. This is amazing.
Who knew the bear would do so well?
Yeah. That bear's only been training 3 months.
Did you see the video clip of your man in the car saying, I have Khabib's training partner here, and there's a bear sat in the front seat of his car? And the
passenger
Your man's like, is that a real bear? And he walks around, and sure enough, there's a real bear.
Was he having a smoke at that stage?
what was that?
What did I do?
Bear having a smoke.
Bear was like, no, he was eating something. He was eating. It was probably just like
A cool bear.
What the fuck?
But yeah, if we're running to lead into this, we spoke about it last week as well. But it's sort of the ranking system. I like the idea of what Bellator are doing in their open weight champion tournament, not a heavyweight tournament. But
Yeah,
Well, it is a heavyweight
it
tournament.
is a heavyweight, but it's a.
They have to weigh in.
Is it a good idea that, in a sense, we talked about this and we were sort of saying everything has to go according to plan? You have to fight and win and not get injured.
Yeah.
And then you have to fight and win and not get injured. But
Yeah.
it's a bracket where if you win this show, you're going to fight on the next show. So it's not like you're fighting
Same
an
way.
hour later or whatever.
Yeah, how frequent are the shows, do you know?
not
I'm
sure.
not too,
I
they
don't know
haven't
if
really
you've-
announced that.
I
They've
don't
sort of
think they've
released who's fighting, but they haven't.
It's not,
And the rumour mill is Chael is fighting Rampage,
Right.
Mir is Fedor, Roy Nelson is Matt Mitrione.
Jeez, the amount of UFC, like, it's,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And then
Like,
Bader is, well, it's King Mo. That's the
Who?
rumour.
Oh, King Mo.
And then, of course, Rory McDonald wants to be the
Yeah, an
alternate.
alternate. What a
Insane.
legend.
But he has to make 206. How's he going to make 206?
Is that the minimum weight?
Yeah, because it's
You have to,
heavyweight.
it's heavyweight, so you
Yeah.
have to.
Heavyweight, you have to
Yeah,
weigh
make
A
206.
load of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of
That's
the-
93 kilos.
Don't have a shit.
So yeah,
Just-
no, he'd make that. He's a welterweight.
Yeah, he's.
Load of water, fucking carb up for a few
Did, we
days.
meet,
Yeah.
did you meet him that night in Belfast? No, you didn't see how big
I
he was.
did.
No.
I did.
Do you know how big is he?
Yeah. He's not really tall. He dwarfed most of them, in fairness.
I know.
Yeah,
Is he
you're
not, he's
big
not like.
I never
he's not
realised.
It always
big.
shocks me how big
I
you are.
never
Yeah.
realised I'm that big.
Yeah.
When someone takes a photo of me, and then I look back at the photo, I was standing beside someone, and go, "Holy God!"
Yeah. Every time I meet him,
head
I'm
is
like, oh, I must be
slightly
taller
taller
now. No, he's just huge.
Ridiculous. I'm a freak. Imagine if I bothered me arse.
This is it, yeah.
I've lost me train there. Where was it? Yeah. So yeah, Bellator.
Yeah.
Is it a good idea? Right, it's not a one-night tournament, but is it a good idea that you know your path? That if I win, I'm fighting the winner of them, and then if I win that fight, I'm fighting for the title.
Possibly, if they don't get injured.
Yes, but you know what I mean? It shows a route rather than... I'm honest, like, who had a ridiculous winning streak? It was Damian Moya, wasn't it? I was like, will you please just give this man a title shot?
And
Like,
Max Holloway as well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I think it's a good idea from their point of view because it's different. It's different
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
UFC. It's
Yeah.
different to everybody, you know.
Yeah, 'cause
and
no
it's
one
kind
really
of stirring
doing
up that old school pride
Yeah,
type.
it's cool.
You know.
It's cool.
And I'm interested.
Yeah.
As in, all these lads are pretty relevant fighters right now. But now I'm interested in the tournament format. Like, so fair play to them. It's a good promotional thing to do.
I think my favourite for
fun.
is an outsider. Who's your favourite for the names you mentioned?
As an outsider to win,
Who do you think wins it? Out of the
it'd
eight
probably be
names
like an
there?
alternate or something. Like that
The
usually.
way
happens.
DC won it, like.
Yeah, it just comes in at the last minute.
I think Bader has a
I
good
think
shot.
I think Bader's gonna win it, and I know he's a live. Yeah, because he's gonna have speed on his side.
I think he's got a good shot.
And I am right. Roy Nelson knocked out Matt Mitrione not too long ago, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah, can't remember.
You have the internet.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
It's right there.
sometimes you sound great when you say it, and you're like, yeah, you did, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
Other times you're going, look at Noel typing and get his information.
Or else.
Oh, it's interesting though. Like it'd be fun. As you said, it's different, and that's what you want.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
just get
No,
something
and
different.
it stirs up a bit of interest, you know.
Why Nelson as well? He's
have a look.
a bit of a wild card, isn't he?
Matt Mitrione's actually better than people think he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt
I
Mitrione
think
is.
he
Yeah,
is
yeah,
good.
he knocked Matt Mitrione out in the first round. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
better.
think Mitrione's
Why
good.
isn't Chet Congo in it?
Yeah.
Chet Congo, what? Hold on to
retired.
Google.
He's old, man.
He is old.
Yeah, but
The
Czech
rest of them
Congo
are
is on a
too.
Czech Congo. Yeah, in fairness, Fedor. Fedor's young. He's on a 5-fight win streak in the heavyweight division over the Bellator. Do you know what I mean? So why not?
Is he the champ?
No, there's
no
no
champ.
heavyweight champion in Bellator.
Hasn't been a heavyweight champion in
Are
like
they
3
doing?
years.
Are they like allowing TRT or something for it or something?
Oh, Jesus. Allegedly. Yeah, I don't know how stringent they're.
The tester just forgot to show up that
Yeah.
time.
Oh, anyway, and then fuck Vitor in there as well.
I just want the commentator from that Russian show to do Fedor again.
Oh yeah, he was amazing.
The guy who
Fucking
did
hell.
that.
Fedor! Absolutely loved it. And he was playing the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko. And he was such a fanboy. And then all of a sudden, when he was
Fast
getting
like a
beaten, he was
beetle.
like, no, Fedor! No! Maldonado is winning! Oh, he was heartbroken. It was fantastic. Well, going on to obviously impressions.
Who's next?
We've got some ones in there. So let's look ahead to UFC Fight Night 122. This sees Michael Bisping coming in against Kelvin Gastelum. So let's throw it to you, lads. What do you think's ahead here? Is it too quick of a turnaround for Michael Bisping? Is age a factor? Is the defeat he took over GSP a factor? But what an opportunity for Kelvin Gastelum as well.
Yeah, it's a tough fight for Bisping to take.
Yeah,
Gastelum's pretty good.
he is. Especially now at midweight.
Yeah, I think Gastelum, to be honest. He's a
And that
pretty tenacious kind of guy. And I know Bisping as well. I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah. But as well, the fact, like, as much as you think you're recovered after 3 weeks, I do think that will play a little bit of a factor in even if you just get a hard knock and train, like you're kind of not alright for the next while.
At the end of the day, though, he's old. He knows whereas, he's been doing this a good while.
I know.
He knows where his
feel
body's at.
alright,
Yeah, it's a hard one to know because, like, one part of me will go, look, he's a smart lad. He knows his body at this stage.
Yeah.
He knows whether or not he's able to do it. But New York was by far the biggest thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
There probably is going to be a bit more of a fucking come
Yeah.
down off of that sort of a,
And there's also like the chance that maybe because he's so experienced, because he feels like he knows himself so much that he's kind of gone, like I feel grand, like I'm alright, like. And he's too comfortable.
But
you never know.
You think you get to a stage in your career where you're past all of that,
Hopefully.
like knowing, like
Hopefully.
you feel this way.
Yeah, you
you're
know
like,
the truth, yeah.
But basically, you've been in that
Yeah.
position so many times where you know there's going to be a come down.
Yeah.
You would be
It'd be,
aware.
it'd be pretty cool if Bisping came.
But
beat
it's
the shit out of him,
what I
wouldn't
find weird about it is that he's gone from talking about retirement. That's always one thing. When I always find when a fighter starts talking about retirement, that's one foot out the
he? Yeah,
door.
one foot out the door. Yeah.
And the fact he was talking, after GSP, it'll go. I reckon he's told his wife, "Look, I retired at the end of 2017,
Yeah.
and now he's gone. Like, fuck, I'll get another fight in." Like,
Yeah.
But he did speak about wanting to
Another
fight in the
payday
UK.
as well.
And then because the other one
Does he need the money at this stage? You
I don't
reckon?
think so.
I don't think so. I'm sure
Yeah,
he's
there you
made
go.
a
So
shit
like,
ton of money.
it's a funny one. I'm surprised he's doing this because I don't see the motivation. As in, come back, have your last fight in England. Because if you lose this one again, some of that like aura and the
Yeah, it's
mystique
gone.
of Bisping
Yeah.
is gone.
Yeah,
Where
it's-
like you could have that mad payday in England, have like that homecoming,
Yeah.
probably fight somebody who's fairly shit
Yeah.
and just have a go out in a victory and wave goodbye to everybody.
See you
and say,
later and get that
I-
fucked up eye fixed.
Do you think
Yeah.
it just comes down to that thing where he said like he
it's
feels
second
really
for
bad after
No,
that
he
last
said
fight?
he
He
fixed
wants
it
to
when he
get
stopped
Maybe,
fighting.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's class if it is that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fair play to him. Like, that's a legit fucking fighter there.
Should Ben done that with you?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
missed that. I missed that. What this
You wanted it back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You always do.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be a proper fighter if you didn't. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's hard to. I don't know.
And I think if in that position that did happen, you'd be a bit mentally fucked going into it having been the guy who won and the guy who just lost to you is fighting you again.
I feel like I would have had the advantage mentally.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Because he'd be like, wait, why does he want? Has he figured something out? Like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on here?
Yeah,
Like
something
kind of
like-
thing.
Especially when he's really enthusiastic about it. Like, it does show a level of like.
Wait, give us another go. Sorry.
So I think it's a tough one though for Michael Bisping because Kelvin Gastelum, he's like ridiculously good fighter, good wrestler, and you see Michael Bisping had problems with that. Good boxer, his hands are really good. His hands are probably faster than George. And then after getting hurt in that fight, I don't think it was the worst beating, but he definitely got hurt. He got dropped.
He did get dropped, and that's the big thing. Like, how much does getting choked out affect you? It's obviously not as big as a knockout.
Nah, it doesn't matter at all.
But,
Sound like.
but the
I do
thing
it
that's
every
that
Friday night.
the setup to the finish was GSP putting them down.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He dropped
yeah,
him, yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And then Bisping, he thought he had that moment, and he got up like and literally put his hands down.
It's just your instinct. Yeah, that's what kind of.
Yeah.
It's happened to me.
I'll go Kelvin Gastelum.
I don't think being choked out affects you that much at all. I think that shot might still play a role in
That'd
his
be
shit.
definitely more the.
Yeah, and is like, lads do get chinny, that is a thing. You
Yeah.
know, if you've been chinned a few times, you're more likely to get chinned again. So
It takes a while to get it back, if it does ever come back. Like,
So too quick of a turnaround, we think.
second.
We all think it's too quick of a turnaround.
a little bit, yeah, a little bit. No, I put a gun to my head. Who's going to win that fight? Gastelum.
If you put it on to it, same.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to look at Bisping. The career he's had has been absolutely outstanding, especially near the end. Like, for
Amazing.
him to beat
class.
Anderson, like,
Yeah.
it was insane.
He
Like,
didn't
After
fucking
being
win
knocked
that
out.
fight.
Like, he's the only person who can say he got knocked out and then won.
Yeah. It was weird, wasn't it? It was fucking. I remember
great.
Bama was on that night, and we were all watching
Yeah.
it backstage on the phone.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh fuck, it's over, and we're turning it off. And we're what? We're fucking restarting them. This is mental. Kelvin Gastelum is an absolute killer, and this is. See, I always say this about the UFC as well, and we're sort of saying it as a promotion. You know, they're feeding the young up and coming fighter
Unfortunately,
the
the way it is,
big
isn't it?
name. Do you know what I mean? And it's the way it goes. You look at Johnny Hendricks, former champion, was fed to your man Costa,
Yeah.
and he absolutely tore him asunder.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, name somebody who's got out, you know, without that happening to them. Even in boxing, it's not many. There's really not that many.
No, like, yeah. That's
right
And-
at the top and walked away.
In a way,
You could have said GSP.
I was just gonna
Well,
say that,
yeah.
and like
Yeah.
he still can. He can still.
can, yeah.
He can. Yeah, after that, I'd be like, right, see it.
As a fighter, though, is it that easy? Like, if you think about it, being through a long injury or anything like that, surely the adrenaline you get from a fight.
Yeah, but even
It's just
when you're coming off a win, like you come off a win, you're like, I just won that fight. I can win another one. It's that, I'm sure that goes in
Oh,
your
yeah,
head.
yeah, big time. Yeah,
Yeah, like, even
no,
if you
so
think
like,
of-
look, here's the thing, as in like, your brain tells you things that aren't real, and you have to go away and like figure out, no,
what's real?
yeah, what is real, like, you know, because you feel like the biggest fucking tank that's ever existed in the entire of human history. Like, you're like, fucking anybody. Where's that bear? Bring him in here.
Hey man, Brock Lesnar.
But like, yeah, it does take a little bit of like observing the rest of the situation
Yeah,
and
yeah.
seeing, okay, what probably is the reality here. Like,
Yeah.
But from Kelvin Gastelum's side, great fight after coming off a defeat to Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
What a name to get, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And Gastelum is spoke openly that he wants to drop back down to 170.
But
And he's like, but
they
fuck.
won't let him, will
He
they?
said, if I win this fight,
can't make it.
I'm a title contender. Do you know what I mean? I could get a title shot and I'm going to have to
Why does
fight.
he want to go back? He just keeps him. What the fuck?
because he's a fat bastard and he loves burritos.
No, but I'm saying that's why would he want to go back down? I'd just stay at 185. He's doing well there. Like, well, apart from, but he looks good there.
And
I think
Weidman's a beast, in fairness.
Weidman's a beast.
Yeah.
And Weidman lost 3 fights in a row before that win, didn't he? It might have been 4. Might have
Chris
been 4.
Weidman. Absolutely love Chris Weidman.
was true.
Everybody always like, you want to get on the team now because I'm like, I'm already there, Chris. I'm already there.
Yeah.
Have me Weidman t-shirt now. I'm a complete fanboy. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Gastelum as well. I hate that because I like Bisping. You know what I mean? I do. I know you said you don't, as a fighter you do, but like, I like Bisping. I just like his cockiness, even from back when he was in the Ultimate Fighter back in the day. Like,
Do you know what though? He's the type of lad that if you met him in a pub, he'd just be the most obnoxious, withered English cunt. Like, you know?
That's the problem. That's the problem. He's real English.
Yeah.
we're gonna have to fucking edit chop this an awful lot today.
That one says him. That one
That's
says
what it
him.
is. He's just so English that it's frustrating, and probably it's because we're Irish. We're like, oh.
English is worse than cunt there, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you must have some proper English roots or something like that. because you like him.
I just you're like, I don't know. I just have always liked Bisping because it was real. When Bisping was in the Ultimate Fighter, they were all Americans. Do you know what I mean? And it was like the European guy were all.
He's one of us now.
No way. Well, no, that was like Bisping. Do you see the picture actually before GSP? A couple of lads got him with an Irish flag. And they were getting the pose. He was like, hold on, what's this? He looked over and was like, the Irish contingency, the Bisping army. He was like, alright, but he was like, what the fuck are you coming at me with an Irish flag for? Plus, it's weird, I get that bond, like his coach, Daz Morris, is, you've probably seen him if you've gone to the toy shows down in the Neptune or anything like that. He's the referee, he does all the Muay Thai shows over here.
Right.
But he's Bisping's toy coach.
Okay.
So, because we'd be chatting with him, you know what I mean, you sort of have that. But
Yeah.
there was a time as well, like, I have to, I'm not gonna lie, when Dan Henderson knocked him out, that was glorious. Like, let's be honest, I think everybody enjoyed that because he was an absolute dick as a coach. wasn't he?
Yeah, I know.
But sometimes I like the heel. But yeah, Gastelum to win it for me, I just think way too quick of a turnaround. Rob, do you want to say the next fight? G Lang Lee taking on Zach Otto. Now lads, I know he's our big fans of both G Lang Lee. And Will was like, no, whatever you do not break this fight down without letting me get the G Lang Lee first.
Otto's
So
always
Will, the
been my
floor
guy.
is yours. Again, this is something we said in our breakdown last week. It's not a great card. The main event's a good one. If you've heard of these below where we're at now, apart from fucking
But look, it's in China, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're just big
Chinese
on
lads.
They're doing it right. Chase Sherman's on it though. I like him.
Yeah.
His Twitter
He's
feed's
waiting
good.
on the card, is it? But again, this is the boost. I suppose that's going to be on UFC TV or whatever. But in fairness to your big fan there, G-Ling, thanks to Tabology, he's on a 3-5 win streak at the moment.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Always knew
He's
my
not-
boys Jillian would come good.
What about the other guy?
He's actually very good.
Yeah, he is good.
He
Rob,
is very
this
good.
is what kills me about Rob. Rob just sits at home,
Watching the shit
just
on the
watches
fights.
shit on the fights and comes at it.
So let Rob do this section.
Yeah. We'll edit the
just
bit
make
where
sure this-
we're all going, never heard you, man. Leave. Go on.
No, he's good. He's aggressive. He's has a lot of power. I don't know much about the other guy though, to be honest. I think he's a wrestler. But
Zach
Lee is good.
Otto, how do you not know much about Zach Otto?
Fucking Otto.
You just
You're the
beat
Otto
Coming
fan.
Muto there today. UFC Fight Night 110. Lewis versus Hunt.
Lee is good though. Aggressive. Very, very aggressive. That's all I'll say.
So you're picking Lee.
I'm picking Lee.
And I think that's all we'll all say because we all don't know that much. Alex, I hate this guy. Tog, you don't like the Alex Caceres, you know, and Bruce Leroy.
He's probably going to get starched too.
Oh, I hate this guy. Yeah, he's fighting Wang Wang.
Why do you hate him?
Yeah.
He's just got that
I like Bruce Lee,
personality where he just, I don't know, this whole I'm Bruce Lee.
Leroy.
No, yeah, but he goes on. He wears the yellow and black
That's
tracksuit.
from the film.
Yeah, I know.
So did
I
Anderson.
just don't know. But
Yeah, he was just saying that.
I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah.
Just
I
'cause
also
he's
didn't
black,
like
is it?
Anderson near the end.
Don't know about that now.
He's more
Somebody's got
cappuccino. He's
this.
more of a cappuccino.
Continuity
come on.
isn't adding up here. I don't know.
No, I don't know. He has that personality that I just don't like him. I can't stand him. The way he smiles, the way he goes on. I don't know. He just irritates
I don't
me.
like happy people. I hate
No,
them.
fuck happy people. But no, I don't know. It's just something rubs me up wrong when he was in the Tough House.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
I think he's got an interesting style as well.
Who did he fight last? You know.
Ronaldo Doi.
Yeah. And then before that was
Jason Knight.
Rodriguez, wasn't it?
My man,
Oh,
Jason Knight
finished
beat
him.
the brakes off him.
that's-
Den Rodriguez, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was a
the
crazy
last-
fight.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a crazy fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
will
looked
admit
good.
that was a good fight.
It
Enjoy
was,
that. But I don't know what it is about.
Wait.
Like, just
Didn't you not come in and say that was a shy fight?
I did actually, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, because you're throwing Yara Rodriguez at me all the time, and I'm going, whatever. Rob.
And who's he fighting this time?
He's fighting Guan Yang.
Guan Yang.
Wang Yang.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he actually is really good. He's a kickboxer. I think he's
19 and 1.
19-1.
Yeah.
I think he comes from a Muay Thai background. From what I've seen of him, now he's been fighting guys who are like 0-2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
That's
amazing
the way to do it.
kickboxer. Yeah, that's why
the
they
way to
pad
do it.
that record.
Just coming off amateur, are you?
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah,
That's it.
amazing kickboxer, and it seems like his ground game is okay when he's on top.
Yeah.
On the bottom, his only loss is to your man from WSOF. You probably have him on the oak. You probably have his record there, do you?
I'm looking at it here.
Yeah. It was his loss.
What would you like to know?
His loss. Fights for WSOF.
Rough 11. Jesus, so you set me up to die here as well.
He was
Rob.
pretty much
Big
smothered.
blood lad Makhanomadov.
Yeah, he's pretty much smothered on the ground, but that was probably about
With a
6-7
name,
fights
with
ago.
a second name like
But
Makhanomadov.
excellent
Ah,
kickboxer.
he's
Really
definitely
exciting.
smutty on the ground.
Very, very exciting. Keep an eye on him. 100%.
Nice.
See, he
Fair play
sits
to you.
at home,
Fair
yeah,
play
he
to you.
does, yeah.
No, you could be making all
Only
this
for
shit up
Rob,
if you
this
don't.
show would be in the pan. I don't know Alex Caceres, so I'm gonna go with the other guy because I just don't like Alex Caceres.
Okay, that's fine.
He probably will win.
Alex?
No, the other guy.
No.
That's what I like to hear. And then opening the card, that's the third fight, isn't it? Yeah, opening the card, we have Muslim Zalikov taking on Alex Garcia.
Oh yeah.
These are big fights, lads, big names.
Yeah.
Huge.
But look, they're on the UFC, isn't it, man? Like, remember a couple of years back, you knew every fighter in the UFC. The roster is so
Well, if you're
big
going
now.
to, like,
Do you know what
when's
it
the last
shows
time they were
though,
trying
in
to-
a way, right? Maybe somebody out there gives a shit about some of these lads, but it's also
Yeah.
kind of nobody gives a fuck about the mid-level fighter anymore. It's the superstar.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no matter what, if you put like, if Connor's fighting on that card,
Yeah.
everyone's watching the
It's an amazing
fucking
card.
Yeah,
It's an amazing card.
It's the biggest card of the
Yeah,
year, you know.
yeah.
Even if everyone else is shy.
But they have to
And
sell
it's get,
tickets. So.
it's more and more like boxing every day. Like
This is this. So I say it, Rob. They may not be household names, but they're fighting to get there. And it is. You might not. And like you look at the records of the lads on it. There's 13.
It's a funny-
the Muslims out. He's 13 and 1. He's rushing like
he has two spinning roundhouse kick knockouts to the
Yeah.
face
Yeah.
and one spinning back fist
That's the
KO.
thing. And it's not their fault that we don't know who you are. It's
Yeah.
probably just the
Just-
promoters.
It's
Yeah,
but as well.
It's been fine in
it's
China or something.
Saturated as well. Like UFC, there's so many UFC. It's physically, it's impossible to keep up with them.
Yeah.
right, but like it's also the fact that we're in a non-talent based sport, so you don't know who the best guys are. So it is like you could have an amazing guy fighting on this show, and he could be probably the best martial artist out there, but we don't know if he's fought the best lads to get to that position. We don't know who the fuck he's fought because it isn't that like you get to here, you go up, you get to here. You don't qualify and you come through the lower divisions, then you get into the Premier League. It's like you might have fought shit lads and be in the Premier League.
But what, like, the one thing that Dana White always says, he talks about these cards and people are like, it's not a good card, but like, think about the Irish cards when they come over here and they pack it with a lot of Irish guys. If you were an American and you were looking at it, like, you're probably like, who the fuck are these guys? But for us, we're looking at, we're saying, these are really good fighters, watch them, you know. So it's probably a similar situation.
Funny, what you're saying, like, there was a lot of criticism of Bellator's main event with AJ McKee and Brian Moore. Like, who's this Brian Moore guy? That was a sensational.
That's a great fight,
Well, Brian should have won.
Great fight.
It's a great fight.
Absolutely.
Brian was winning. Brian was dominating him pretty much every aspect. Like, McKee couldn't get him down. He was outstriking him. He was a smaller guy and overcoming that advantage just with beautiful footwork.
Really good.
I was fucking bitterly disappointed after that. It was shit to watch.
Brian's a fucking really cool dude as well.
He's a great lad, and he's fucking.
He's some tough fights, hasn't he? Like,
a lot of very tough fights. That's the thing, is in like, there's a lad who's legitimately very good and fucking going for it and taking them hard fights all the time. And you look at his career and you kind of go, fuck, I hope he gets rewarded for this eventually. Like, because he's the right attitude, the right fucking, you know, doing it the right way. But just, it's that flick of a switch. You know, guy takes your back, you're out. Like, well, totally different.
You gotta give as much as.
If he'd fucking lasted the rest of that round, he'd won that fight. Totally different scenario. Now everyone's like, Brian Moore's fucking Bellator's number one, you know.
Yeah, fuck.
But that's the game we're in, you know.
But in a weird way, I think Bellator wanted that. It not,
obviously.
They wanted AJ to go through the absolute torture of that fight.
I was saying it because after, like, or maybe it was Tommy, but I was like, if McKee loses, it's going to be McKee's comeback story. It's going to be the big thing. They still wouldn't want to focus on Brian because they haven't put loads and loads of money into him, build him up, showing this character, showing this guy. And I don't think they'd bother even if he did win. So who knows? Who knows what would happen?
The whole with James thing, you know. Now it's even
yeah,
story, you know.
I think James is destroying pretty easily.
He beat his teammate.
But that's as soon as because they changed it around that Brian fought AJ then, and you were like, this is the build the story for the Gallagher fight. Like, in fairness, the Gallagher fight makes sense. Like, it's two young prospects like that are both vying for the belt and they're both undefeated, and you know what I mean. It's they're telling a story, Bellator. They're slowly getting us to it, and
McKee's no joke. He's not terrible, but like, I think James would destroy him pretty easily, to be honest.
Yeah, just because James is
level on the ground.
His ground is just unbelievable.
It is very.
But the thing with James as well is every time he goes away and comes back, you see a new.
Oh, that last fight against Machida.
Yeah, it was amazing. And you see, it's quite funny because people aren't giving him props for it. It's like, Machida's old, man.
That happened. But that happened with Conor. Same thing happened with Conor.
And that's exactly it.
And then eventually James will have a belt and they go, but he still didn't fight anyone. Who gives a fuck what them people are saying, like, do you know what I mean? Call him what you want, but you can't call him bro.
Shows people care, you know?
Yeah, exactly. If you're invested enough to know who he is, good.
Yeah, I'm sure James loves that.
That's a good point you made with us looking at this guy. I'm sure the people in Shanghai are going, such fighting, such. I like the way we were getting as I was looking at the Bam and Bellator card going, jeez, he's on the return, whatever, you know. So,
it doesn't matter, it's irrelevant that we don't know their names.
Well, again, this is the thing as well, though, the roster is so big, it's hard to know their names.
There's a lot.
It really is. Like, I will honestly tell you, I have a filing cabinet for fighting in my brain. This is how I think about it. Because between watching fights, working shows, doing whatever, you only have so much storage, and it's like, it sounds terrible. If the fight was just like, that doesn't stay there that long. You know what I mean? It filters out, and then like something amazing happens, and that goes in you go and replace something else. So
that's how brain works.
That's what Joe Rogan's always talking about, that Dunbar's number thing. You have space for 150 names in your head, and as soon as you get one more, one goes out. But it's the same thing with information, I imagine, as well.
It's hard to know it all.
There's only so much. That's it. So who are we picking there? We've sort of got to wait, but we'll get back to it because that's what I do.
The Russian.
The Russian. You're not going to say the name,
I just want you to say it again.
What's his name?
Shalikov.
Yeah, that's alright. That's an easy one. Muslim. Salakhov. See, I even done the.
Oh, yeah.
Salakhov. But again, further down the card, you were saying you're a big fan of Chase Sherman as well.
Big fan is an over-exaggeration.
Yeah, you said, no, I spoke to you outside. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of his social media game.
That's what I mean. That's why I like him, because he's gone, okay, he's realised what this is.
That's his
and
niche.
he's right. Okay, people kind of find it funny when it is. I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
What's he do?
He just
Posts
goes all the
memes
gifs and
and
all
like,
on Twitter. Like he just goes through Twitter and just makes fun of everyone and himself and puts up gifs all the time and all this. Or gifs,
Interesting.
gifs. I don't know what they're called, but he's playing the game. You
You're
know,
like me. I say gifs and memes. What is it? Memes.
memes, memes.
I
Memes.
say memes. I'm a meme man.
It's French.
Huh?
French.
French?
Yeah,
Men.
Is it?
it's the same in French.
Alright. So I
It's
am
the
getting
word
it
for
right.
same.
Alright.
Oh,
C'est le même chose.
Do you speak French fluent?
ouais.
fluent.
Ah, ouais.
C'est quoi le mot? Ouais. Nah, my brother lived there for a while and
Alright.
he taught me a little bit. And I did it in school, but I didn't learn
His
that.
brother invented memes actually.
Yeah. Le même.
Fuck him, go with it. You invented memes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he called it le même, but whatever,
Yeah.
you know. It's the meme.
They dropped a le.
Yeah.
You got a bit selfish and went me.
It's somebody who's no, it's all about me,
Yeah.
and that's stuck. Lads, it's been great. It's been dead
That it?
He's in. Yeah, it's
Oh,
flew
cool.
boy.
I didn't even get to talk about Will.
What's the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
What? The first 25 minutes were dedicated.
Here, a lot of bollocks.
Oh shit.
Well, talk about more. What more do you want to cover? Start. Any news you want to tell us? What's next? What are we going to see?
There's going to be some huge shit coming out next week, basically.
Should have got him in next week, bro.
Sorry?
We should have got it in next week.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, give us a call or whatever if you do audio.
Over the
shit.
Skype machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do.
Let's Skype.
But basically, yeah, the show ended very interestingly, and
Yep.
there's going to be a bit of a storm coming up. So we'll see where that storm ends or where it gets us, you know.
And how wet everyone gets.
Yeah.
Don't take any unnecessary journeys.
Alright.
Storm, what's her name?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The shit's going to hit the fan, so it's obviously on the next week's episode of The Fighter.
Yeah. And after that, I know the show hasn't even been aired here, which is really annoying, but basically everyone can see for themselves. Shit went down big time. And yeah, basically we're going to put out a bit of a
Statement.
video.
Oh, video.
Oh, video. What's the day again? What day is it again? That airs.
That airs Saturday evening, and sure, look, I'll probably put it out Sunday morning or whatever. But,
Sunday morning.
yeah,
And be
Something
on
to wake up
OFT on Monday evening.
boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we get you in talk about it.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, boom.
Shit hit fan. So
Yeah,
there you go,
big time.
folks. Remember it for next week. And we're going to release it on Facebook. You're going to do it on Twitter.
I don't know, fucking wherever.
Where do they
it
get you on
is.
Twitter? Tell the
What?
people where to get you on
Ah,
Twitter.
Will fucking Fleury.
It doesn't have to.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Fantastic. You missed the U in it. Is it FC?
Yeah, it's FC.
How do promotions feel about announcing it?
They loved it down in South Africa, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your man actually announced it coming into the cage and everything.
Yeah.
Even they were, you know, all the production crew were like, "Will fucking Fleury,
Yeah,
I fucking love it, mate. It's
Yeah.
fucking amazing."
Actually, what I was saying now is because he's on TV, it's Will motherfucking Fleury. Yeah, you get an extra mother when you're on TV.
Because I remember I was announcing the show and I was thought, I hate to say it, you're not to say it. And I'm going, that's his name, I'm fucking saying it. Like.
Yeah, for the Bammer fight, you did announce it, didn't you?
I didn't do the Bama.
Bammer, Lee Bammer.
Lee Barmer.
When I fought him back
Did
in
I?
Roy Ocean in 2015.
Yes, I did.
I think so, yeah.
And I done another show as well. Not too far ago that I announced it as well.
Oh, the Cage Legacy?
yeah.
Yeah,
Down there, I've done that.
Ah, I forgot about that, yeah.
I absolutely roared. I swear to God, I got a horrible headache. I went mad. I was like, I'm letting all these Cork boys know that I'm saying fucking.
Boom. Yeah, that was a mental night.
He just say fucking.
Worst Cork accent
Yeah.
That's the best
He
Cork.
didn't even get a Cork. He didn't even get the Cork in there, boy. It's real funny. I tell you, I always travel down when we're going down in the car because we stopped the bloke to ask him for directions to the Neptune. And he was telling us the directions, but he's always going, right, you go down there, lads, you turn left, you go top of the hill, and that's the fucking Neptune, boy. Right, so that's stuck with us forever. So every time we're going down to the Neptune, we're going, that's the fucking Neptune, boy. And as soon as I walk in, Martin Horgan will be, alright, now we watch the story. So, goes both ways.
Great, Cork are great people.
Yeah, I like the Cage Legacy. Finally, somebody thought, let's put a
Brilliant.
show on
That
down
was
there.
a deli night.
Pity that Swedish lad pussied out, but
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I remember that was a weird visa thing or something, was it?
No.
You didn't
No, he just.
something with his scan.
Scans.
No, but it wasn't like he failed the scan. Something
Yeah.
got flagged in his scan. Like something got flagged in
There
my
wasn't
fucking
enough time
scan. And it's nothing. I googled
Yeah.
it myself and I was like, that's grand. And it's nothing they'd stop you fighting over. Something got flagged in his scan and they were like, this is like something that may have occurred through trauma to the brain, but it's nothing that's ever going to affect you. Not even like that, actually. I'm making it sound way more serious than it is. Some people have matters in different areas of their brain. He had matter in some weird area of his brain. And fucking, he just got a bit spooked by that, and then he didn't get on his flight. And then because he didn't get on the flight, nothing could happen. And I was like, look, I don't give a shit. I'll like just get him over here somehow. I'll pay half his flights, or like we can use my purse to pay a bit of his flights or whatever. And he just didn't want to do it. And it was the same bullshit with that Chris Meany lad before. He did his eye test the day of the weigh-ins and failed his eye test, knowing that he had like terrible vision. So it's like, why the fuck do you wait till the day of the weigh-ins? Twat. Like. If you're gonna pull out of a fight, have a half decent excuse. Don't be a shit cunt. I don't bear any anger over any of these things anymore. I'm totally over all of it.
But that's that use of experience. This like
and that's the thing is in like
I'd be warming up and then have someone pull out for the frozen shoulder, whatever frozen shoulder is. But
Frozen shoulder.
Frozen shoulder. I was like, surely you knew that before 10 minutes before the fight, like.
Was that on
Ryoshin?
Yeah.
Way before, like a few months before me,
I remember that actually.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah. That's not around anymore. Very rarely. They haven't had a show. I think the last show was the tournament, was it?
No, Glenn Irvine fought after me and they wanted the belt back.
You said, "No, I cuddled this belt. It's covered in my DNA."
We are one now.
I have 2 little belts now. It was like the penny just dropped for Ben. Does he mean he's fucking the belt? Yes, Ben. He's fucking the belt. So shit's hitting the fan next week for you. Ben, what's up next for you? Do we have something down the pipeline? Christmas. Is that something? It's like, fuck is, I want to get Christmas in the way. Is that a big thing?
Yeah, like I like having Christmas. Look, it's
Christmas
like
is sound.
this thing. There's no off season, like.
Yeah.
And every year I kind of made a point of like, for that 6 weeks, you're not fighting, you're not training intensely, you're not sparring, you're not doing anything. It's your one bit of time, like. That's what I. And look, if somebody offers me a shit ton of money to fight New Year's Eve, fuck Christmas. Never liked it anyway. Load of shit. But for now, with there's no real incentive. There's not. Most of the good shows are February, March.
But with you guys suffering pullouts all the time, right? Do you almost stay ready when you see like a fight match in your weight class? Do you think, right, fuck, one of these is gonna pull out, so I'm gonna stay ready that if it comes available, I'm gonna go. I'm ready to go.
Like the last 3 Bama cards.
You're just kind of sitting
And
there.
just going like one of these fucks is gonna pull out. Like somebody will. I thought I might get Fabian Edwards because your man Kennedy might bust out or whatever. So I'm always this is the thing, and it's frustrating when it doesn't happen because like I've been ready a ridiculous amount of times and it just fucking hasn't happened.
We'll try to injure teammates during sparring.
To
get them out of the fights.
Ben, this sounds like experience.
I don't think I've ever pulled out. What were we talking about?
What's next?
What's next?
Christmas for me, but I like to do actually the jiu-jitsu tournament, that one in December before the end of the year, just to do something before the end of the year, something competitive. And then looks like it's going to be March for me, allegedly.
Bam in Belfast.
Allegedly, I don't know.
I'm alright at that shit, aren't I?
We'll see. In March, and that's perfect for me. If it's April, if it's May, that's perfect for me too. I'm going to be just better by then.
And we're going to see active years from both of us.
Hope so. I fucking hope so. Look, I've been ready. Like if some folks are like look, I've been I had January or December last year, McClurkin pulled out with a broken hand. February this year he's trying to pull out. It actually eventually happened because they were going to boot him off the card instead of me. Then I had the Swedish lad. Oh, and I had your man, the Russian fella over in Kazakhstan, and that was me. That was
He just won another fight there. Actually.
Did he? Yeah. Hopefully, I'll get him someday as well. So we'll see.
Simon Rosenhall, that was the name of the
Swedish lad.
Gentleman.
And look, I'm involved in this whole tournament situation, and you're about to see some crazy shit go down in that. So next week, and that'll.
So until then, we'll find out what's next. I suppose after shit hits the fan.
Boom.
Well, lads, I have to say, absolute pleasure having you in.
Thank you.
It was a long time in the making, and delighted it happened. And we sort of rambled about everything and anything.
That's pretty much everything.
Load of bollocks.
Obviously, someone say. But a big shout out as always to Fight Store Ireland, the fighter's choice. Everything you need under 2 roofs. To MMAmix.com. They're obviously good.
Because we're obviously Fight Talk.
Beautiful. And to feelsupreme.co.uk, everything you need from your CBD oils, everything that it recovers, go check them out. Use the code at the end and the checkout Fight Talk.
Am I not supposed to be closing the show since I opened it?
Well, go on. You can wrap it now. You always have to say don't copy Brendan's job and say we're out. Don't do that.
You do that all the time.
Gadoosh.
You also do that all the time.
What do you normally say?
Thanks for it. I always tell them to subscribe to obviously Fight Talk, to check
why
us out on
not?
Twitter @talk_fight, and then I say something humorous at the end, so no pressure.
Alright, stay classy, San Diego.
Original. This has been 90.